All right, finally we are getting going. Holy crap, that took me a long time to actually get the stream to start there. Not quite sure what actually happened there. I think YouTube was just being a bit strange, really, to be honest. I'm not sure what it was playing at. It just wouldn't start the stream. So yeah, in the end I had to go ahead and start up a completely new event for the stream. So yeah, that was a bit of a bit of a hassle. It's the first time I've sort of streamed more or less exclusively on YouTube. So if you're watching today on YouTube, this is a first time we're doing this today. And yeah, I just wanted to sort of give YouTube a bit of a trial run today, because YouTube does support it supports streams up to obviously 4K, and yeah, so I wanted to just give it a test on basically 2K resolution. I can run the sim pretty well on my 2K monitor, so I thought I'd give that a try. I was streaming in a glorious 18,000 kilobytes per second in terms of bit rate, so it should be super crisp and super smooth to look at on the stream today. So you'll have to let me know if you're in chat, and you'll have to let me know what the quality's like, because I'm very intrigued to see sort of how it all turns out. Okay, so let's have a look then. I've had to rearrange all my scenes on my computer as well, because obviously changing to YouTube, changing resolution, I've had to sort of change everything around. So there might be a few little teething issues here and there with the stream, but nevertheless, let's get things rocking here. We're at Zurich Airport at the moment, and we're logged on to VATSIM. We are on multiplayer as well, so you know, if you want to join on either of those platforms, you are absolutely more than welcome to do so. And yeah, we're going to get things rocking here. We're here in the beautiful Swiss livery, and we're flying at the obviously the A32NX today, the A320neo. The Swiss airlines, they actually only have one A320neo, so that's basically what this livery is based on. Made by Tommy BK on flightsim.to, looking very nice indeed, with the little raccoon mask going on there, looking very good. Let's just make sure we're on live weather in time actually, so we'll get that going. There we go, live weather and time. Alright, so without further ado anyway, let's start getting things set up here in the flight deck. We'll turn the flight pad on just for reference, but first of all, let's just turn down the music bit. We've got a bunch of new sounds actually added into the A32NX recently. There was actually a bigger update to the sounds last night. I'm not sure if they've made them through to the experimental build yet, but we will certainly find out. And yeah, let's have a look and see how things are sounding in the flight deck then. So we're going to be making our way from Zurich today, obviously, to Palma de Mallorca. Checking out the new JustFlight scenery, which has yet to be released. It will be released soon, I'm told. No release date as yet, but yeah, it should be pretty exciting. I've had a look at it already, and it's looking pretty sweet. So you'll want to stick around for that. But let's first start and get things rocking here in the flight deck. Get ourselves an ATIS. We do have a controller on here at Zurich at the moment, so we can have a word with them and get our clearance. Okie dokie, so get the batteries on and the external power. We've got the external power connected. Let's just see if I actually did that on the external view. Sometimes the little external power unit doesn't drive over, so let's get this guy connected. There we go, beautiful stuff. So yeah, I'm using the latest version as well of the toolbar pushback add-on, which is really quite cool actually. Basically, it will actually force all the ground surfaces to kind of stay in place as well, rather than driving away immediately. So yeah, that's kind of cool. They just kind of sit here. We've got RX Europe on as well, so we've got the nice branded up different ground surfaces. So it's all looking very nice indeed here on the ground. Okay, so we have got power on the aircraft. Let's just get the lighting set in here so we can actually see the screen. It's quite bright here in Zurich at the moment, so let's just get all these screens turned up so we can actually see what we're doing. Okay, great stuff. And jumping up ahead, before we do anything else, we'll turn on the ground control, ground control, the voice recorder. We'll get the cruise by oxygen on, and we'll turn the adheres to nav. We'll also turn on our no smoking to auto, and the emergency exit signs can go to armed, as well as the nav lights can come on. It's actually been quite a while since I've flown the A32NX, so could be interesting today, but I don't think we'll have too many issues. I think this is still even the aircraft I have the most time in on the sim, despite the DC6 and the CRJ coming out for the sim. Yo, Marino, welcome to the chat, brother. Good to see you, mate. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Welcome to YouTube. Hope you're doing well, mate. You have to let me know how the quality is on the stream. I'm running at 18,000 bit rate at the moment. It's pretty exciting. But yeah, doing good, thanks, mate. Just getting started up. We've got a controller on here at Zurich, so it should be pretty cool. And actually the approach controller as well. So yeah, looking pretty nice on VATSIM at the moment. I think there's even a center controller on as well. So absolutely beautiful for VATSIM flying today in this area. Okay, so I'll just get the engine fire test done. So APU we'll start with. All looking good there. Engine 1. And engine 2. Great stuff. All looking good. And we can do a quick CVR test as well. And that's looking good. Very low tone there. You can hardly hear it. I don't know if this cargo smoke test works yet. Oh, it does. Beautiful. Okay, fantastic. All the tests going off right about now. Fantastic stuff. Okay, great. So let's actually look up overhead here, make sure we've not missed anything else. All looking good. Great stuff. Okay, so let's get these screens seem very dim to me, but nevertheless it should be fine. No worries there. Let's get the... Can you turn the brightness up on this one? I know they've updated it massively since I last flew this aircraft, but I don't... Doesn't look like you can, does it? Okay, fair enough. Now then, can you tune frequencies by clicking on this? Oh, you can't. But you can get the ATIS. That's actually really nice. So that's pretty cool. So we've got Zurich information at Lima at 1120. QNH 1020. QNH is noted, and information Lima. Departure runway 28. And that's all looking good. Wind variable at 3 knots. A few clouds at 3,200 feet. It's a fine day here in Zurich. Let's get that QNH set. So 1020. We'll set that here. And we'll go ahead and start getting things plugged in to the FMGC here. So we'll first go to ATSU AOC in its pres. Let's bring in the data from SimBrief. So we've got Swiss 2149. This is based on a real flight out of Zurich to Palma. I don't believe they use the A320neo for it, but they do use an A320, so that's close enough. They've only got one A320, so I'll take that. Let's then go to perf weight and balance, and we want to just bring in our payload. So I'm going to bring the payload in like so. And what we'll do for the fuel is we'll actually come to the fly pad here and we'll get that loaded up using the refueling panel. So fuel wise, we're looking for 5354 on the fuel. Okay, and so we'll need to defuel a little bit. Let's go for real, and there we go. Let's get that going. Great stuff. Mariner just been through a few sneaky pints. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Nice early pint on a Saturday. Gotta love it. Okie dokie, so that's all set. Great stuff. Let's go to the data page. Aircraft status, current database is active and current. That's all good. So init and init request, let's bring in our flight plan from SimBrief. So we've got Zurich to Palma, and our alternate is, where is that? That's in Spain, isn't it? It's not Barcelona, I want to say, but somewhere in that vicinity, I believe. It could even be Barcelona, if I remember correctly. We'll go to IRS init. We can go align on ref. Not sure if this is actually simulated or even worth doing in the Neo, but nevertheless, we'll get that sorted. Cost index of 5, and because we're a bit late today, I'm actually going to bump up this cost index to a hefty 100, and cruising flight level is 350. So that's looking good. We'll go to our flight plan and start putting in our departure. So it said runway 28 for departure, if I remember correctly. Let's just make sure of that on the radios. Runway 28 indeed. We did plan for runway 34 and the VEBIT 3 hotel. So in fact, what I'll do is I'll speak to the controller and we'll get our clearance first of all. So we want to get on the frequency for the tower, 118.1, and I need to actually just sort out some of my custom views here. Let's go for that one. Okay, 118.1. Okay, tower's just gone AFK for a second. I'll put the feed through to you guys so you can hear it as well. But yeah, tower's just gone away for a minute, so we'll just have to wait to get our clearance. But we do know it's going to be runway 28, so we'll select that. Oh, live, it's Ibiza. Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Nice, dude. Thank you. So we're going to go runway 28. We can still expect, we can probably expect the VEBI 3 whiskey departure, so we'll select that.
Tower back.
Tower's back.
Just confirm Davy 3 whiskey departure at runway 28.
Swiss 32, A firm, VEBI 3 whiskey.
Copy, Swiss 32.
Lufthansa 2 Romeo Yankee, cross runway 28, approved, taxi stand Bravo 37 via Alpha, Echo and November.
Cross runway 28 and taxi to stand Bravo 37 via Alpha, Fox, oh sorry, say again, Lufthansa 2 Romeo Yankee.
Yeah, via Alpha, Echo and November.
Seems looking good. Thank you, Mariner.
Alpha, Echo and November. Lufthansa 2 Romeo Yankee.
Correct.
Zurich Tower, very good afternoon. Swiss 2149er, stand Alpha 42, type A20N. QNH 1020, information Lima, request IVAR clearance to Palma.
Swiss 2149 Zurich Tower, hello, information current runway 28, clear to Palma via the VEBIT 3 whiskey departure, climb 5,000 feet, squawk 6712.
We'll double check on information, Mike. Clear to Palma, runway 28, VEBIT 3 whiskey, climb to initially 5,000, squawk 6712, Swiss 2149.
Swiss 2149, read back correct, startup approved, QNH 1019.
Startup approved, QNH 1019, Swiss 2149. Okay, great stuff. So we've actually got our start approval there as well. Let's just get everything input here and then we'll get underway. So VEBIT 3 whiskey as expected. We'll insert that. Scrolling down, I've got everything in there. We do have a discontinuity. We'll deal with that in a moment. Everything's looking good. Let's go for our arrival into Palma. We're expecting 24 left. So we shall just turn the radios down for a second here.
Good land, runway
So we're going to go for ILS 24 left Zulu, and we'll go for the Lunip 2 Papa arrival.
Yeah, I just realized that I'm already correcting. Thanks.
Okay, so we've got to choose a via here. Let's just see if we can work this one out on Navigraph first of all. So bringing up the charts here.
2 Uniform Echo, taxi holding point, runway 2, correction, Swiss 2 Uniform Echo, taxi holding point Bravo 1 via Charlie.
So 24 left, ILS Zulu, that's recommending the CDP via. Let's just have a look at how that looks on the charts. So CDP is the cap Depera, VOR by the looks of things. So we're going to come in via the east and then down. Okay, that looks good. Great stuff. Let's just get that in. CDP and insert.
Wind check, please.
Okay, great stuff. So let's just bring that up on the plan view, and we'll have a quick scroll through and see how everything looks. So up to the top of the flight plan and scrolling up, we've got VEBIT there, which is our terminating waypoint for our departure.
Swiss 86, push approved. Push approved.
Okay, all looking good. Great stuff. So we've got no discontinuities at the end. Just here at the start between VEBIT and Rotos. So let's get rid of that and see how that looks. Okay, it looks good. Great stuff. Perfect.
Swiss 32, do you copy? Thank you. Swiss 32, push approved.
019 as the controller said. So that's all in. Beautiful stuff. Okay, fantastic. So let's have a quick look at our departure chart then and see if we're going to need to put anything on our RadNav page.
With 59 Romeo information, Mike, current runway 28, clear to Frankfurt via the Degas 2 Whiskey.
So then it's 3 Hotel, that was our initially expected departure, and we're actually going to be using VEBIT 3 Whiskey now. So we'll stick that in.
59 Romeo, read back correct, startup approved, QNH 1019.
We'll pin that. Now this is an RNAV departure, so we're not going to need to tune anything on the RadNav page.
Swiss 169 Yankee, welcome to Zurich, continue taxi via Juliet.
Fairly simple and straightforward. We could tune the Cloten VOR just to have that reference, although we probably won't use it, but let's just tune it anyway for completeness. So Kilo Lima Oscar, we'll stick that in VOR 1 and we'll stick that in there. Great stuff. Okie dokie. Perfect. Okay, so we're just using the Cloten VOR for a DME reading for the departure, and then it does actually refer to the Willisau VOR as well, so let's tune that one in. We'll stick that in here, and it's actually referring to a intercepting the 053 radial as well, so we'll put that in there as well. Okay, cool, so that's all in. We've got the ILS tuned as well. This is for the departure, I believe, for the runway mode on the takeoff roll, so that's all fine. We'll go to NIT B and let's just check that the refueling has been done here. It has indeed. Great stuff. So let's go ahead and set this. Fuel is 5.3 tons.
Zurich Tower, good day, Ryanair 6 Echo Mike, stand Alpha.
Okay, and the average, the wind component for the trip is going to be a little bit of a tailwind, which is great, so positive 6.
Shortly, break, this 169 Yankee, cross runway 28, approved, taxi stand Alpha 44.
There we go. Great stuff. Okay, so that's everything in there into Init B. Let's go ahead and do our perf page now. So we're going to do a flaps 1 takeoff. We'll do a flex temperature of 55 degrees. Our transition altitude here in Zurich, I believe, is 5,000 feet. Let's just check that one. 7,000 even. 7,000 feet, and we'll set our V speeds is going to be 2913, 30 and 34. Okay, perfect. IRS is now aligned, so that's looking good. I'm actually just going to hit B on the keyboard to get the QNH in sim. So that is all looking good and well, fantastic. Okay, initial climb clearance was 5,000 feet, so let's set that as well. We'll set constraints on this side and airport on this side. We'll give ourselves 20-mile range. What we'll also do is we'll come down here and just choose above. Above is already in there. Let's set our squawk as well as 6712.
This 86, taxi holding point, runway 16 via Echo, hold short runway 2.
Okay, fantastic. So we'll also tune in the approach controller frequency, which is 135.225, just for after we get underway.
Echo, contact arrival frequency 135.225, bye-bye.
Arrival 135.225, thank you, first 2 Uniform Echo.
37 Mike, we establish on 14.
Right, okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I think we are pretty much good to go and get some pushback now. Let's have a look up top. We'll turn on the fuel pumps now as well. We'll get our APU started. We'll turn the seatbelt signs on as well. We've got the fuel on board now. Start the APU and let's leave everything else as it is for now. A few of the players here on VATSIM looking good. 2 Swiss aircraft there. Another player over there as well, and another one here looking good, and another one there. Beautiful. Love to see it. Okay, let's get some of the ground services disconnected as well. Get the catering, baggage, and the
you can continue taxi, but
jetway disconnected.
Echo, make a left onto Foxtrot now, and then on Foxtrot, hold short of November.
Now left on the Foxtrot short of November, so it's 169.
Beautiful. Okay, so we've got APU available. Let's disconnect the power as well. We'll come up top and we'll leave the APU to warm up a bit before we put the APU bleed on. We can turn the external power off. Okie dokie. Cargo door is still open. Hopefully they'll close that in a moment. We'll do the before start checklist above the line. Okay, so cockpit prep is complete. Fuel message is sent. Gear pins and covers are removed. Signs are on and auto. Adheres are in nav. Fuel quantity is 5.3 tons. Takeoff data is set. Bar ref set. 1020 both sides. Before start, above the line, completed.
Cross runway 28 above Swiss 80s.
Okay, get our pushback clearance. Space Ace, yo, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Good to see you. Welcome. Oh, it's Asa. Awesome, dude. Welcome. Glad to see you here in the chat on YouTube.
Number 1 for clearance, standby short, break with 169 Yankee on November, continue taxi.
Continue taxi to Alpha 44 November, Swiss 169 Yankee, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Scandinavian 89 Bravo, information, my current runway 28, clear to Copenhagen, the other ticket to Whiskey departure, climb 5,000 feet, squawk 6723.
We have information, Mike, clear to Copenhagen, Digges to Whiskey Departure, runway 28, initially climb.
They did say there was information Mike as well, so let's just bring that up here. Okay, yeah, information Mike, beautiful, okay. Manical, welcome to the chat, buddy. Hope you're well. Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, how is this guy doing? Is he connected? He is just getting connected.
Closed and all ground equipment is removed. The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Okay.
Parking brakes
Let's
set.
let him lift.
The aircraft.
Swiss 2149 are ready for push and start.
Standing by for pushback.
Hang on. Are we still on the right frequency here? 118.1. What happened there? Why did it change the frequency?
Scandinavian 635, descend 4,000 feet.
4,000 feet, Scandinavian 635.
That was weird.
This 310, read back correct, startup approved, QNH 1019. Startup approved, 1019, 5010.
Ryanair 6 Echo Mike, testing pushback.
Ryanair 6 Echo Mike, pushback approved, face. Actually, straight pushback approved.
Straight pushback, Ryanair 6 Echo Mike.
Swiss 2149 are ready for push.
Swiss 2149er, straight pushback approved.
Straight pushback approved, Swiss 2149er. Okay, we are ready to push back. Let's release the parking brake.
Please set parking brakes.
Okay, why does he want me to set the parking brakes?
Zurich Tower, schöner Nachmittag. Swiss 5 Alpha Sierra, request radio check.
Swiss 5 Alpha Sierra, Zurich Tower, guten Nachmittag, video 5.
Alright, strange, let's
Cockpit
go.
to ground.
Swiss 86, line up runway 16 and wait one arriving traffic on the dependent
Look how beautiful the
runway.
scenery is. Look at this
About
custom
4
jetway,
minutes
that
delay.
is super good
Commencing
looking,
pushback.
isn't it?
You can start
Beautiful.
the engines in sequence. It will start in the sequence.
Okay, let's get the APU bleed going, beacon light on.
Runway 16.
Before start checklist, below the line,
7
windows and doors are closed, beacon light is on, thrust lever is idle, parking brake is set, is released, and that is the before start checklist complete.
Taxi stand Alpha 7 via Juliet and
Okay, let's start with engine 2.
Swiss 7 Mike, it's stand Alpha 17.
Okay, stand Alpha 17, sorry.
Swiss 310 ready to start the push and start.
Let's go for a straight push here, so I'll push back just to the other side of the APM so that we can make a
step by
nice
short
left
break,
turn
back
onto
to
the
7
taxiway.
Mike on Juliet, hold short of inner.
Continue hold short inner C7 Mike.
Yeah, hold short of inner on Juliet, please. Swiss 317, pushback approved face east. Pushback approved face east, Swiss 310. Yeah, 310, sorry.
Swiss 59 Romeo, ready
Look how shiny these wings are, holy.
Swiss 59 Romeo, squawk 1000, please.
1000,
Swiss 7 Mike, hold position immediately. Swiss 7 Mike, I told you hold short of inner.
Pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Yeah, now it doesn't matter anymore. You can continue taxi and expedite.
Okay, cool,
Pushing
so
back
that's
right
pushback
into you.
complete. Manical asked, does the sounds in the toolbar pushback work with specific planes only? No, I don't think so. No, I think it works with all planes.
Have a good flight.
Start the push for a
Holding
second.
position waiting for the visual.
Swiss
Thank you and
59
goodbye.
Romeo, straight pushback approved.
Yeah, I think it works with all aircraft.
Swiss 310, continue pushback. Okay, continue push. Thank you.
Zurich Tower, Scandinavian 635.
Okie dokie. One thing I did not do yet is just set the trim.
Scandinavian 635, Zurich Tower, good,
Set
7
that
knots,
to
wind 30 degrees, 4 knots, runway 14, clear to land.
And we'll just check the rudder trim as well. Great stuff. We're not going to need anti-ice today, so after start checklist, anti-ice is off, ECAM status is checked, and pitch trim is set and rudder trim is 0. I'm sure you can't hear the PTU fire up in this aircraft anymore. You have to be on... be on this view.
Ryanair 6 Echo Mike requesting taxi.
Ryanair 6 Echo Mike, taxi holding point Alpha 2 via inner and Alpha.
Okay.
Holding point Alpha 2 via inner and Alpha, Ryanair 6 Echo Mike.
Oh, look at this. This is new.
Swiss 5 House Software on stand, Bravo 3, Swiss November, request IFR clearance to suit S5.
Okay, let's start timer here as well.
Information November current, runway 28 clear to Zult via the Degas to Whiskey departure. Climb 5,000 feet, squawk 1,000.
Clear to Zult on runway 28 over the Degas to Whiskey. Initial climb 5,000.
Okay, some problems to get it to work in this case. Yeah, you basically, once you've downloaded it, you need to actually run a little script that's included in the file. So if you open the zip file and look at the README, it tells you exactly what to do. You can see here on the options as well. In fact, it doesn't say it here, but you just need to make sure that you haven't renamed the plugin as well, or the add-on, sorry. That's something that I had previously done, so I had to change the name of it for it to work and then run the script again. So it might be worth just checking that one as well. Okay, we are ready for taxi. Let's get the engine mode selector back to normal.
My plane
Turn our transponder on to auto.
This 86, that's correct. You will be turning left after a certain altitude and then overfly the airfield.
Thank you, sir.
Swiss 2149 are ready for taxi. We are just here for reference.
Swiss 2149, taxi holding point Alpha 2 via Foxtrot inner and Alpha. Caution, there's traffic on inner, pushing back.
Taxi to holding point Alpha 2 via Foxtrot inner and Alpha. Caution traffic, pushing back. Swiss 2149.
Swiss 86.
Okay, let's work out where the hell we're going here. It's quite a complex area to taxi around is Zurich, so let's just see if we can work this out. So we are here at stand 42, we're on November, we're taxiing to holding point Alpha 2 for runway 28, which is...
310, standby, traffic pushing back in front. It took him a while, but now he's moving, so...
somewhere down here, I think. I can only see Alpha 1.
Standby.
Let's see, insets 109C.
Ryanair 6 Echo Mike, line up runway 28 and wait.
Line up 28 and wait, Ryanair 6 Echo Mike.
Okay, that's not that helpful. Oh, Alpha 2 is there, okay. So it wants us to taxi via Foxtrot, which is a first right turn, and then inner and Alpha, which is going to be Foxtrot is here, and then Alpha and inner here. So yeah, we'll take a right onto inner there and then go down, follow it round all the way to Alpha 2. So actually pretty simple. So just a right and then another right. Two first rights essentially.
Station calling, say again.
Alright, let's get our APU off, so APU bleed off and APU master. We'll get our taxi lights on, not the strobe lights.
Break, Ryanair 6 Echo Mike, winds 320 degrees, 4 knots, runway 28, clear for...
Strobes are in auto.
Disregard, cancel takeoff clearance, all position, call you back shortly.
Checking the electrical page, we've got both generators feeding the engine, that's looking good. Okay, release parking brake.
2135, that's 1225, bye-bye.
Bit of breakaway thrust and let's get underway.
Contact for the control 2 taxis, thank you, sir.
Swiss 86, frequency 135, decimal 225 for arrival.
This is 135225 for arrival of expecting that.
Alright.
Hello, Lufthansa 6 Charlie, request startup and pushback, Airbus A320.
Stand by, brake, Scandinavian 635, continue taxi
Got
via
Lufthansa
Juliet,
there
hold
next to
short
us,
runway
beautiful,
28.
A320, and another Swiss 320 there as well, love to see it.
Via Juliet and hold short of runway 28. Scandinavian 635.
Swiss 59 Romeo, ready for taxi.
Swiss 59 Romeo,
Get my
stand by
rudder
short,
panels in
brake,
place,
Lufthansa
I've not
6
moved them
Charlie,
over.
pushback approved.
Pushback approved, Lufthansa 6 Charlie.
Swiss 59 Romeo, taxi holding point Alpha 2 via Inner and Alpha.
Okay, I need to just get the feet off pedals right now, they're going all over the shop.
Swiss 59 Romeo.
Swiss 310, taxi behind the company A321.
Okay, so we're taking a right onto Foxtrot. You can see the markings on the ground indicating right onto Foxtrot. Let's take a quick right turn, quick left turn there, everything looks clear. Absolutely beautiful scenery here by FS Dream Team. Love it. Fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, my camera's not working. Hang on. Oh, let's not miss this turn. Right onto Inner here.
Ryanair 6 Echo Mike, wind 320 degrees 4 knots, runway 28, clear for takeoff.
Runway 28, clear for takeoff, Ryanair 6 Echo Mike.
You can see Inner markings on the ground here. Inner to the right. And this was probably the traffic he warned us about here in front. We've got the Swiss. Alright. Great stuff. We've got loads of aircraft here today. We've got an Iberia 319 there as well. And someone else there as well. Very busy.
Ryanair 6 Echo Mike, contact arrival, frequency 135, decimal 225, bye-bye.
135,
Alright, let's go. To brake sector max as well.
Scandinavian
The
635,
spoilers as well.
runway 28,
Get our
cruised
flaps
on the
set
other
to
side,
1.
taxi stand Alpha 10 via Alpha, Echo and November.
Cross
Just bring
runway
the cabin
28
here.
and taxi to Alpha 10 via Alpha Echo November, Scandinavian 635.
Takeoff config
Correct.
tests.
Sir Charles, Scandinavian 89 Bravo, request push and stop.
Scandinavian 89 Bravo, stand by, short traffic behind.
Order.
Swiss 59 Romeo, line up runway 28 and wait.
Line up runway 28 and wait, Swiss 59 Romeo.
And I sent Ryanair 6 Echo Mike, confirm.
Alright, beautiful. We've got flaps
Okay,
1 set.
Scandinavian 89 Bravo, pushback approved, face east.
Alright, we'll clear the terminal now. Let's go ahead and turn the predicted wind shear on, even though it doesn't work. We'll leave the weather radar off. Again, that doesn't work. But I just want to get rid of this orange message.
It's ready for push. Swiss 5 Alpha Sierra, pushback approved.
Okay, so we've got 2 taxiway lines here. I'm not sure which one to
Okay,
take.
approved,
Oh, we're
Swiss
taking the
5
left one
Alpha
because the right one goes all the
Scandinavian
way
835,
right.
you just turned the wrong way. Are you able to make a right turn to join Alpha?
Yes,
Okay, I don't see any signs or markings on the ground here, which is a bit weird.
Okay, perform right turn onto Alpha and continue.
right turn and
Oh, there's
continue on
Alpha 1, okay, great stuff.
Swiss 59
we're
Romeo,
going
wind
to
320 degrees 4 knots, runway 28, clear for takeoff.
Oh, we're going to Alpha 2 though, aren't we?
Runway 28, Swiss 59.
Swiss 310 behind the company A321, departing runway 28, line up runway 28 and wait behind.
behind the departing company 321, line up and wait 28.
Okay, I don't see an Alpha 2 sign, so I'm just going to stop somewhere around here. See where we actually are. We can probably follow this guy around. He's just being asked to line up and wait. Weird that there's missing an Alpha 1 sign. Sorry, an Alpha 2 sign. You're the Iberia. Amazing, dude. Awesome. Which 320 am I using? I'm using the fly-by-wire A32NX. This is the experimental version. And it's obviously an A320 Neo.
It's 59 Romeo, contact arrival, frequency 135, decimal 225, bye-bye.
135 is no 225.
Okay, parking brake is set. Let's do a quick flight controls check before we get underway. So full left, full right on the ailerons, full up, full down on the elevators, full left, and full right on the rudders.
X-ray, Zurich Tower, hello, winds 320 degrees 4 knots, runway 14, clear to land.
Okay, so before takeoff checklist, flight controls are checked, flight instruments are checked, briefing is confirmed, flaps setting is 1+F, V speeds are 2930 and 34, ATC transponder is set, ECA memo is takeoff no blue, takeoff runway is 28, cabin crew are advised, TCAS is TARA, we'll set that now. And engine mode selector is normal. Packs are on before takeoff checklist is complete.
Scandinavian 635, that's Foxtrot, I need you on echo.
Yes, I just realized that. Sorry for that.
Okay, fantastic. Let's just quickly review our chart again before we get underway here.
No worries.
So for departure, we're going to take off, flying runway heading to 2.3 DME. Then we're going to take a left
310, winds 320
turn.
degrees 4 knots, runway 28, clear for takeoff.
Okay, this guy's clear for takeoff. We're probably going to get asked to line up momentarily. I'll just not say anything until we're basically just taking a left turn, then we're intercepting Prego below 5,000 feet. Sorry, above 5,000 feet. Our initial clearance is 5,000 feet though, so we'll expect to have further clearance as we approach there. And then we're going to fly outbound on 240.
Request check.
240 out to Verbit.
Correction, Scandinavian 89, Bravo, standby short break, is 2149, line up runway 28 and wait.
Line up runway 28 and wait, Swiss 2149er.
Scandinavian 89, Bravo, taxi holding point Alpha 2 via inner and Alpha.
Holding point Alpha 2 via inner and Alpha, Scandinavian 89 mile.
I think this little taxiway here is on a little bit of a slope, so I'm just going to give it a little bit more thrust.
Swiss 310, contact arrival, frequency 135, decimal 225, bye-bye.
35225, system 0, Meshify Palma de
Mallorca.
Runway 28, identified. Look at this runway texture, that's super cool, isn't it? Hey Zach, welcome to the chat, buddy. Good to see you over here on YouTube. Hope you're doing well, mate. Welcome, welcome. No worries at all, dude. No worries. No worries. Hopefully, hopefully the update doesn't take too long. Okie dokie. I'm just going to quickly jump in the controls menu here and just update the sensitivity on my rudder pedals. It seems extremely
Tower Logan,
sensitive.
Lufthansa 6 Charlie. We have a problem, and I just reconnected and request taxi. I hope I don't have to.
Yeah, Lufthansa 6 Charlie, clearance is still valid, just at Squawk 1000 and standby for taxi.
Squawk 1000
Definitely
and
need a good dead zone. Holy crap, I can't believe there isn't one.
Swiss 2149, winds 320 degrees 4 knots, runway 28, clear for takeoff.
Runway 28, clear for takeoff, Swiss 2149er. Alright, we're clear for takeoff. Let's release the parking brake. Going to go up to 50% N1. Looks stable, holding that side stick half forwards and up to flex. Manflex 55 SRS. Auto thrust is armed and blue.
Taxi 2 holding point, Alpha 2 via Foxtrot, inner and
80 knots.
Scandinavian 89 Bravo, line up runway 28 and wait.
Line up runway 28 and wait, Scandinavian 89.
V1 and rotate. Positive rates.
Lufthansa 6 Charlie, are you ready for taxi?
Ready for taxi, Lufthansa.
The gear lever is actually already up, so they just came up straight away.
Taxi holding point, runway, taxi holding point Alpha 2 via Foxtrot, inner and Alpha.
Taxi holding point Alpha 2, runway 28 via Foxtrot, inner and Alpha, Lufthansa 6 Charlie.
Okay. I'm going to reduce this thrust a little bit earlier here actually. So levers back to climb, and I'm going to just dip the nose a bit earlier. Just because we're climbing quite well and we've only got a climb clearance up to 5,000.
And Swiss 2149, contact arrival frequency 135.225, bye bye.
135.225, Swiss 2149, thank you.
Lufthansa 6 Charlie, traffic is a Swiss A321 on.
Right heading 260, descent 6000, QNH 1019 of Swiss 126 uniform.
Zurich approach, good afternoon, Swiss 2149 passing 4,200 for 5,000.
Swiss 2149, Zurich departure identified, climb flight level 90.
Climb flight level 90, Swiss 2149.
Swiss 310, climb flight level 120.
Alright, we're past the SB, let's get the flaps up. Cleared up to flight level 90.
Swiss 59 Romeo,
set standard pressure as we're cleared up to a flight level. Now we'll set standard pressure on the ISIS as well. Okay, after takeoff, checklist, landing gear is up, flaps are retracted, packs are on, and bar rough is set to standard both sides. Climb checklist is complete. Strobe lights are on. They were good thing we left them on auto. I forgot to put the landing lights on as well. Stick it all on for now.
Direct Digger system.
See what the temp's looking like in the cabin.
59 Romeo, contact Swiss Radar 128.05 Schöneflug.
128.05 Swiss 59 Romeo, thank you.
Swiss 126 uniform, descend 5,000 feet.
Descend 5,000.
So we're going to go to center next, which is 128.050. Let's get that tuned.
310, contact Swiss Radar 128.05 Schöneflug.
Over to 28050.
Alright, let's just check the temperature in the cabin. So it's looking a bit toasty in the back there, so let's just turn down the temperatures a bit. There we go, looking good. See how that works. Let's see if the bleed page, I think they actually simulating a bit of this now, which is quite cool, as well as the air conditioning page.
Swiss 2149, climb flight level 120.
Climb flight level 120, Swiss 2149.
Scandinavian 89er Bravo, departure identified 4,200 feet, climb flight level 120.
Climb flight level 120, Scandinavian.
Yeah, so I think when you change the temperature now, you can see these valves actually opening and letting in some more cold air, so it cools down the cabin. So if I actually turn this off.
2149, contact Swiss Radar 128.05 Schöneflug.
128.05 for Swiss 12149, thank you, bye bye.
310, Swiss Radar 20, climb flight level 240.
Climb flight level 240.
So you can see now it's gone to the hot side, so it's letting in hot air to warm
Swift
it up.
radar Ryanair 381, passing 14,000.
So if we switch it to colder,
81
letting
identified.
in cold air. Beautiful.
Level 320.
Go
Climb
through
flight
the
level
clouds
320,
here.
Ryanair 381.
Quick check of the temperatures. We are in icing range here. I'm just going to flick on the engine anti-ice for a second. We can turn the landing lights off now, as well as the nose lights and the runway turn-off lights. Put the strobe lights to that position so I can see it's easily on. Swiss radar, good afternoon. Swiss 2149er, leveling at flight level 120.
Swiss 2149 on Swiss radar, grid 3, climb flight level 350.
Climb flight level 350, Swiss 2149er.
Swiss radar, good afternoon, North Tower 3, with you just
I wish I knew more Swiss so I could use the comments, their language to greet them. I do enjoy doing that on VATSIM, it's quite enjoyable.
Please Squawk 6770. Altair 3,
Maniclass, do I look forward to the Phoenix A320? Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, 100%. Very much so, very much. Let's get the seatbelt signs off now as well. I hope they fix this lighting. Aircraft appear super bright. So weird.
Altair 3 is cleared, flight level 350.
Alright, we can also disarm the ground spoilers.
Just radar, hello, Scandinavian 89 mile, flight level 100, climbing 120.
Alright, I think that's going to be it really for ATC comms for a little bit. So I'm just going to turn those down. Turn the music up a little bit. Okie dokie. But yes, Manacle, certainly looking forward to the Phoenix 320. It should be very, very nice indeed. And I think, yeah, I think everybody is looking forward to that, I think. I mean, the A32NX, the fly-by-wire is brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic what they've done with it, but I just think it's going to take them so long to get to the same level as what Phoenix are doing. It's just going to, yeah, the Phoenix is just, it's going to be a must-have, I think, for a while. Look at this through the clouds, beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I'm actually playing this today on my, well, I mean, as you guys might have guessed, we're obviously streaming in 2K today, so yeah, using my 2K monitor, and it just looks brilliant. This monitor is super well calibrated for colour, so and the contrast on it is really nice. So not only is it high res, the colours and everything, it just looks like a new game almost. It looks so good. So the latest development update for Manacle, not Manacle, for Phoenix. Yeah, dude, yeah, it looks brilliant. I think they've just hit the nail on the head with so many aspects. I think it's just brilliant. Like they've obviously got, you know, the textures and the modelling really nicely done. They've got obviously the systems there, the outside of the model, the textures on it, they look so freaking good. I'm so impressed with how well they've managed to utilise what's available in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's just really good. Yeah, really enjoy it.
Coming for level 330, rolling 14 and hold on.
Okie dokie, so we have passed through Rotos and Badet is our next waypoint. So we're making good progress here. We've passed through our departure route. So looking on the charts here, we've passed through Vebit already, as you guys may have noticed, and we are outbound now on our en route portion of the flight. Just going to do a prudent thing before I carry on here with chat, and just check if there's any more controllers on outside of this area.
Climb flight level 350. Climb flight level 350.
Okay. yeah, so there's it's just this center controller really, and then that's it really for a while, unless someone else comes online. So he's probably going to pass us to Unicom next, so we can get that tuned in. As well. Okay, great stuff. Ace asks, PMDG doing a A320? No, PMDG are not doing an A320, no. But what they are doing is they do Boeing aircraft mainly. I believe they've got some kind of agreement with Boeing, which is quite cool. So yeah, they are doing a
keep up the good work,
Chris,
Rob.
holy crap. Yeah, they're doing an not an A320, they're doing a 737NG, I believe it is. So that should be super cool. In fact, I'll bring up some pictures that they've released of it. Some old pictures, bear in mind, in a second, and we can have a look at that. But holy crap, Chris Shuttleworth, bro, thank you very much, dude. Mate, you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much for the £10 tip over, well, on YouTube here. I'm used to saying over on wherever, because we're usually streaming to multiple platforms. But today we're just exclusively on YouTube. Yeah, Chris, really appreciate that, man. That's so generous of you. Thank you very much. Very kind. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
6 kilo Romeo seems that you missed the glide slope area for visual approach, or do you want another line?
Fly-by-wire has made amazing work, but it will take time to reach this level. Yeah, exactly. But it's exactly. It's payware versus free. No miracle. Exactly. And I mean, on top of that, you know, the fly-by-wire, you know, they're making the Neo aircraft. And Phoenix are doing the basically the older version of the 320. I think it's either the CEO version or just the standard 200 variant. So yeah, it's going to have slightly different engines and slightly different performance and fuel burn and things like that. So it should be quite cool. And I think I really like the look of the CEO version as well. It's just got really cool looking engines. I think the engines are just very cool looking, in my opinion. Chris, absolute legend, yeah. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Alright, I'll tell you what we'll do then is we shall bring up the fuzz pad here then. Hopefully this works. There we go, beautiful. Don't need to look at the map necessarily.
Kilo Romeo, turn left heading 040.
Right, let me see if I can find this for PMDG's 737.
Swiss Rudder, good Nachmittag, Swiss Air 1077. We have information. We have information, Oscar. Flight level 230. 1077 Swiss radar, convert the information Oscar with correct.
Won't be a sec, guys. I'm actually just looking on FS Elite, so if you've never been on this website before, it's really quite good for flight sim news. I would recommend it, and yeah, they post all sorts of stuff about new releases and all sorts of things. So yeah, highly recommend checking this website out if you've not checked it out before. But yeah, I think I saw some of the old pictures. These are pretty old pictures now. They're more than a year old, I think. But it is here. No?
On flight level 220. Flight level 220, Lufthansa 6 Charlie. Good afternoon, 6 Hawk. 490.
Right. I definitely did see some previews somewhere. In fact, maybe I linked it on. Maybe I saved them on Discord. Let me just clear this off real quick.
Climbing 370, 6
I
We nemen 89 Bravo over at the moment, Unicom 1.8. Cheers.
122.8, send a new 89 on Malway.
Damn it, I don't know why I can't find these.
Swiss 5 Alpha Sierra is direct to Sudan possible.
5 Alpha Sierra, direct to the
Direct to the Swiss 5 Alpha Sierra, merci.
16 Kilo Romeo, turn left heading 310, descent 1000.
Right, okay. Could just search by tag, couldn't I, on the website? I think that would probably be smart.
Pulling 1 for Tango Hotel, no first rate, monitor Unicom 1, decimal 8.
Unicom 122, decimal 8, calling 1 for Tango Hotel, thank you.
There's some really good pictures somewhere, and it just seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth.
This 1077, continue present heading.
Really?
Continue present heading, Swiss Air 1077.
Keep up the good work, mate. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Learned so much from your streams. Oh, that's flattering to hear. I'm glad somebody has learned something. But yeah, really appreciate those kind words, brother. Much appreciated, man. Thank you.
Flight level 110.
My fly-by-wire is just going back to departure airport where I put in the approach, does my head in. That's a bit strange, Ace. I'm not sure why it would do that. That sounds like one of the old bugs in the sim. To be honest, I would probably just I would recommend to try. Oh, we're going through some more clouds here. Look at that.
16 Kilo Romeo, turn left heading.
We're approaching 350. We've only got 1,000 feet to go.
16 Kilo Romeo, you can
I'm just going to pull the vertical speed here and just put us to 1,000 feet per minute. This that little last bit of the descent. Sorry, not descent, climb. Okay, cool. So, I think I've found them, guys. I think I've found them. Here we go. All right, beautiful. Let's bring up the fuzz pad once again. So here we go. This is the 737 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like I say, these pictures are very old. Over a year old, in fact.
Level 100, Swiss Air 1077.
So this is the exterior. There's not too much to look at here. I mean, it's obviously a good model, but there's not too many close-ups, so you can't really see the juicy details of what they've done, really. But it looks good. But in the cockpit, this is where it looks really nice. Like, look at this. Look at the throttle quadrant. Look at the CDU. Absolutely brilliant. It looks so nice. I mean, obviously, in a simulator, I've only ever flown the Zevo 737 before, and I mean, obviously, X-Plane is on a different league, really, to Microsoft Flight Simulator in terms of fidelity and graphics. So yeah, this just looks absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to give this a try in the sim. But yeah, if you guys want to check out those previews yourself, I'll paste them in the chat. So if you want to check that out, by all means, have a click and you should be able to check it out. Probably going to get transferred to Unicom in a second.
No further at the moment, one to Unicom 1 to decimal 8. Cheers.
Unicom 1 to decimal 8. Merci, schönes Wochenende und schönen Nachmittag noch.
Might have been someone else. Ah, yeah, that's someone in front of me, I think.
Shuttle 78 Kilo, contact service arrival 135.225.
How are you doing on your departure, Mariner? Try and see if I can spot you on the VATSIM map.
1077. Go ahead. Contact arrival 135.225.
Arrival 135
Alright,
225
let's see. So Asa, I don't know if I finished responding to what you were saying there. I would recommend checking out the experimental version of the A32NX. So if you use the launcher, or the installer rather, and just switch versions to the experimental version, what they're actually doing now is they're using a brand new sort of LNAV system, and it's much better than the default. So that might be the answer to your issues, potentially. So highly recommend checking that one out, dude. Manical asks, do I like Boeing? Yeah, I do. I do really like Boeing, yeah. I don't really have an affinity to either of Airbus or Boeing. Although what I will say is that I tend to pick up, well, I picked up the Airbus. It was quite intuitive to me. Okay, that wasn't for me. But yeah, the Airbus seemed a lot more intuitive to me and easy to pick up. So it just seems to speak my language, if you know what I mean. So in that respect, I suppose I do prefer Airbus on that front. But in terms of Boeing, I can see why people prefer it, because it has this kind of more, at least the 737 versus the A320, it has this more sort of, what's the word? It feels more like flying, if you know what I mean. Whereas the Airbus is kind of like, you know, like people do say, it is kind of like just, you know, a flying computer type thing, and you're just inputting stuff in. You know, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love fly-by-wire type flying. So it's brilliant. But I think the 737, it definitely does feel a lot more like flying, and I'm a bit of a sucker, to be honest, for the old trim wheel in the 737. I really like the sound of it. I don't know why, but I really enjoy the sound of it, and it's very cool. But yeah, on the Boeing it's a lot more sort of convoluted, the cockpit, because obviously a lot of the stuff in there is a bit more manual, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of systems in the Airbus, for example, that are just automatic and work automatically, whereas in the Boeing you've kind of got to set the switch or whatever. And yeah, obviously Airbus have put a lot of time into human factors in the design of their cockpits. So, is that for me? 12284 Swiss 2149er. Thank you very much. Choose.
72 Tango Lima, cleared to 1 Golf 5.
Okay. 1228. Switching over to Unicorn now. Beautiful stuff. Let's just have a quick look now that we're fully established in the cruise. Let's just do a quick cycle through our status page here. Well, our lower ECAM. So we'll click this all button, and that allows us just to cycle through everything. So engine instruments all looking good. I've never noticed this glowing before. I'm not sure what that's trying to indicate there, but nevertheless it's glowing. We've got the bleed air system all looking good. All good there. Great stuff. Cabin pressure, cabin altitude is 8,000 feet. All looking good there. We've got this little, I believe this is an outflow valve, slightly open. Not sure on that one. I haven't done too much studying on this page. Electrical systems all looking fine. This is fully simulated now, which is very cool. You can sort of see the figures sort of fluctuating a little bit. We've got a little bit more load on the left-hand side generator at the moment. Which makes sense, because if you look at the diagram here, it is powering basically more of the aircraft than the generator 2. So you can see it's the AC 1 bus here is supplying the AC Essential bus, and this is also being converted into DC electric, which is supplying the DC battery and the DC Essential bus, as well as the Essential transformer rectifier. TR is transformer rectifier, which obviously converts AC power to DC power. Then we go to all here, hydraulic system all looking good, 3000 psi. You've got the fluid quantity levels here all looking good and in this little green box, although the blue system is a little bit on the low side. Fuel system's looking good. APU is off. Air conditioning, nice and we cooled it down a little bit in the back, 22 degrees. Maybe still a bit hot in there, I would imagine. I hate it when, you know, the cockpit, the cabin, the captain rather, or the flight deck people forget about the people in the back. It gets super warm in the back of some aircraft, doesn't it? Doors are all closed, slides are armed. That's why it says slide here, so that means it's armed. Wheels, temperatures all looking fine on the brakes. Flight controls all fine and all operational. Status page normal. Great stuff. That's everything checked and looking good. All right. But yeah, Manacle, like I was saying, Boeing, yeah, it tends to have a lot of stuff that's a bit more manual. Like, for example, if you look on the overhead on the Airbus, like stuff like the window heat. Window heat is automatically on in the Airbus. There's no need to actually press anything. It's on automatically. And so is the probe heat as well. Obviously it's all included under this one button, whereas on Boeing, for example, you actually have a switch for the probe heat and you have a switch for the window heat. In fact, you have multiple switches for both. I think there's 2 switches for each on the 737, for example. What else is there? There's the landing elevation you have to also set in your 737 as well. In the Airbus, obviously, it's automatically set. You can set it manually in the Airbus, but you can see here it says automatic next to it, so it's automatically set based on your flight plan. So that's nice and easy. Again, in the Boeing, you have to set that. You also have to set your cruise altitude in the Boeing, which is part of the same system, but obviously it's just an extra thing to set. In the Boeing, when you're starting the engines, you have to turn the packs off manually. It doesn't do it automatically. You also have to introduce the fuel flow manually after the engines have started spooling up. So you press the starter to start the engine, and then you start the fuel flow. Obviously turn the packs off before that as well. So yeah, there's generally just more stuff that you have to do to turn stuff on in the Boeing. But what I think is quite nice about the Boeing is the checklist is super simple. So what you need to do in the Boeing is you just do everything and set it all up, and then you do one checklist, and that's it basically. So it's quite simple and straightforward in terms of checklists. But yes, you are right. They are a little bit more sort of aviation avgeek type oriented. So yeah, I agree with that. But I think you'll love it. To be honest, it's just a different experience, and it's just really iconic plane, and it should be really, really fun. Hey, Ramsey, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, mate, here on YouTube. Welcome. Hope you're doing well, mate. Welcome indeed to the stream. Welcome, dude. We're over here on YouTube today, and obviously streaming in 2K resolution with a super high bit rate. So as a streamer yourself, you'll have to let me know what you think of the quality of the stream today. I'm very intrigued to see if people could tell the difference in quality between this stream and Facebook. You should be able to. I'm going to just turn a bit more lighting on here in the cockpit. It seems quite dim in here. Not sure why. This lower panel here seems very dark. Okay, let's see. Chris is asking, which version of the fly-by-wire Airbus am I using? So I'm using the experimental version of the fly-by-wire A32NX. So I can bring up my launcher for you here, or the installer, sorry. So on the installer, I'm using the experimental version here, which it's personally the only one I would recommend, because they're currently using the new LNAV system in this, and it's just so much better than the default. So I would highly recommend using the experimental if you're not already. It doesn't get updated as often as the development version, but it still gets updated very, very often. I think it's only once a day they update it on, you know, like at a certain time. So rather than when an update goes live for the development, it is live for everybody. The experimental version has a few hours to catch up. And on top of that, you don't have the terrain radar currently or the weather radar system in this one, mainly because of the brand new LNAV system. So the ND has been completely reworked as well, so it's brand new ND. So it's really, really great actually. And yeah, personally, I would not recommend anything else in terms of the fly-by-wire versions. But that's just me. Let's just clear out these VORs. Looking forward to the day when they auto-tune. One day they will. All right. Good, yeah, I follow you there on 2. Yeah, of course, Ramsey, of course. You fixed my plane yesterday. Amazing, dude. Oh, you managed to get it work. Did the fuel valve toggle on the switches, did that work as well? Oh, okay. I should have just read your whole message. Yeah, awesome, dude. Well, I'm glad you managed to get it to work. That's amazing, man. I'm glad I could help, as always. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Looks beautiful. Oh, thank you, dude. I'm glad it's looking good. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think the sim is running at a little bit of a lower frame rate than normal, but it's not that noticeable, honestly. I was expecting, switching from 1080p to 2K, I was expecting a bigger drop in frames, but I'm really not experiencing it at all. And the change in quality is so good, I don't even know if I'm particularly bothered about it. Losing the extra frames. Definitely taxing my computer a bit more, I can tell. But it's I'm not dropping frames by the looks of things, so can't complain. Manacles watching on his 65-inch TV and the quality is perfect. Awesome, dude. Thank you for letting me know. That's amazing. 65 inches. Holy crap. Yeah, wow. It's totally strange to think sometimes when, you know, someone's watching me on a massive TV. It feels a little bit surreal, really. But yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad the quality is good. What resolution is your TV? Right, I am just going to nip away for a couple of minutes, guys, and I'll be back with you. Hang fire. I can see your face in real size. Oh dear. What if I do this? What if I do this? How about now? How big am I now? Okay, enough of that. You don't want to. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that big. Awesome, Ramsey. I'm glad it sorted it anyway. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a bug or if that's the new way to do things. I'm a bit confused by that one, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. It looks like there's something that they're updating. How do I know if I'm running the game at 2K or 4K? I never knew that. G9 Odyssey and a 3090. Good question, Acer. So, in terms of your VR headset, I don't really know, to be honest. But in terms of just running it on your normal monitor, in fact, are you always playing in VR? Because then I don't know the answer to that question, unfortunately. Maybe if you go to your pause menu, obviously, and then go to the graphics, and click on this arrow at the top, switch to VR, and then I imagine it probably says something on here. I mean, it doesn't actually have a resolution on there, actually. So, I'm not sure. Oh, no, not main menu. Holy. Oh, you don't use VR. Oh, sorry, G9 Odyssey. My bad. That's a monitor, isn't it? My bad. Yeah, so if you go to your graphics options, and then see, so you can see here, rendering resolution. You can also see full screen resolution here. 2560 by 1440 is going to be your 2K. 4K is going to be something like 4 something by 36 something, I think, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think yours is an ultra wide as well, isn't it? So I'm not sure the resolution on it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that monitor is 4K, I think. So yeah, if you just check there and make sure that it's on your native resolution for the monitor. What you can also do as well to make sure of that is if you go to your Windows desktop. So if I do that real quick, and then we go right click and display settings, and bring up this menu here, and then scroll down, and then just see where it says display resolution. Click on the drop down and make sure you're on recommended, which you should be anyway. But if you just make sure of that, and make sure that matches what's in sim, and then you can kind of verify what you're on from there. Double size now. Unfortunate for you. You're running 5120 by 1440. Okay, so 1440 obviously being the height of the monitor. That's technically what's normally referred to as 2K, but you know, when it comes to it, 2K and 4K and Quad HD and HD and all this type of stuff it's all marketing speak at the end of the day. It's not really, it doesn't really mean that much. So I mean, if you wanted to kind of quantify what you're running, is it just times the two figures. So 5120 times 1440 is like 7 million. So you could say you're technically like 7K, I suppose, is probably what they would call it in marketing terms. I don't know. But yeah, technically you're 2K, but obviously you've got much more horizontal resolution, so it's it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's freaking sweet. But it's all marketing speak at the end of the day, this 2K and 4K stuff. Generally it refers to the height of the resolution. So for example, 1080p being the height of HD resolution, Quad HD being essentially 1440p or 2K. They obviously rounded that one up to make it sound better. And then 4K, the height is around 3,900 pixels or something like that. So there you go. 49-inch ultra wide, not very high, but great for flight sim. No, dude, mate, I would love that monitor. It looks so good. I imagine it's amazing. That's super, super nice monitor. I've heard a lot of good things about it. All right, cool, cool, cool. So looking at the stream now, we've got 12 concurrent viewers and only 5 likes on the stream. If you've not liked the stream already and you're enjoying the content, please do hit that like button. It really, really helps out the stream. I would really, really appreciate that. Obviously helps get the stream out onto the algorithm on the depths of YouTube, and it makes it appear on more people's home pages and whatnot. So if you're enjoying the content, hit that like button. Thank you very much, whoever just did that. And yeah, that's really, really, really helpful for me. So thank you. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream today. Yeah, really, really sort of excited to be streaming on YouTube as a platform. Thank you very much as well. Those 2 other people who just liked the stream, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate that. And yeah, so as a platform, I think, you know, it's quite exciting to kind of commit to one platform, if you know what I mean. Some of you guys obviously have come over from my Facebook page, which again, really appreciate you guys doing that. You know, it's quite difficult to ferry people between different platforms, so yeah, really appreciate that. And yeah, I've been sort of trying to decide whether I should commit to a single platform or not. And yeah, Twitch I've seen very mixed results on, and as a platform I'm not sure if that's the way to go. So really it's been between Facebook and YouTube, so I'm still trying to decide between the 2. But the very fact that we can get a stream of this high quality, you know, it's kind of sort of luring me in, if you like, because, you know, at the end of the day, that's really what I'm about. I've always tried to make sure things are as high quality as possible, and the fact that we can achieve this, and I just upgraded my internet provider as well, so I can easily do the bitrate that it requires. So I'm quite tempted to go for YouTube, just because I quite like the setup they've got there in terms of how you set up the stream, and how you can have the video there, and how you can rewind the stream live, and how you've got all different transcoding options for people with slower internet and things like that. So yeah, very tempted to, you know, come to YouTube as a sort of full-time thing, rather than doing Facebook at the same time. But we'll see what happens. I'm not going to stop streaming to multiple platforms just yet, but you will probably definitely see more of these YouTube only streams coming. And thank you very much, guys. Thank you to the other few people that have just liked the stream as well, much appreciated. Thank you, guys. Very, very, very kind of you. Thank you. Only thing I don't like about YouTube is the fact that it took me about 40 minutes to actually start the stream today. For some reason it wasn't picking up my feed when I initially sent it in, and it wouldn't let me start the stream, which is a bit weird. Hopefully that doesn't happen every time. But maybe it's just teething pains, so we'll see how we get on. Thomas, yo, you're in the chat as well. Welcome over onto YouTube. I hope you're doing well, brother. Good to see you. Thank you very much for liking the stream. Much appreciated, man. Thank you, thank you. Manacle says, my regret, I can only push the like button once. Dude, you're far too kind. Far too kind. Oh, that's very humbling. Thank you very much, dude. I usually watch on Facebook, don't know how to like on YouTube. Okay, I'll give you oh, you found it. Okay, fair enough, dude. Yeah, it's literally just, there's just a thumbs up just below the video. And yeah, it's super, super simple. I personally think the user interface on YouTube is much, much better than Facebook. I think Facebook, because they change it so often, it's quite confusing, even for me, as someone who streams on the platform. Like, last night I was watching actually Mariner's stream, who's in the chat currently, and I I was just trying to find certain things like where the stars are and where to subscribe and things like that, and I just feel like it's a bit awkward on Facebook. And soon we'll hit 1,000 subs, hopefully on YouTube. So if you're watching the channel and you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, would really appreciate that subscription. We are getting quite close to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. What are we on currently? We're on 941. So once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're actually going to be able to enable some of the member-only options on YouTube. So you'll be able to sort of subscribe to the channel to unlock emotes and subscriber-only streams and things like that we can do on here. Thank you very much, whoever else just liked the stream as well. And yeah, it's gonna be really, really cool, I think, on YouTube. Obviously, you can do super chats, which is like bits, and you can do your subscriptions, which is obviously like being a fan or a subscriber on Facebook. So yeah, and they have more flexible options as well. I can set different tiers at different prices. And yeah, I just think it'll be really, really cool, and I think the user interface, it works a lot better. So I'm looking forward to that, but we need to hit 1,000 subs first. So let's see. Ramsey says, "Of course, you're one of the best when it comes to streaming, dude." Thank you very much, man. That's very humbling to hear. Absolute gent. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolute gent. Alright, beautiful stuff. Okay, so let's see our progress then. Let's see how we're getting on. This is not the shortest flight in the world, but again, it's not the longest. So, looking good. We're within the 240-mile range of our destination. Looking on the MCDU here, we can check our flight plan distance, 238 miles, so not too far to go. We're probably going to need to start our descent within the next 100 miles. So I think probably now is a good time to do a little bit of a approach briefing. So let's bring up the charts initially, and in fact what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check to see if there's a controller on here, because we'll obviously need to bear that in mind. It doesn't look like there is. I'll just check on VPilot, not VPilot, on VATSIM, because that can sometimes be a bit more accurate. So where's VATSIM? VATSIM is here, and where are we? We are the pink here. Oh, there is actually an approach controller on. That's fantastic, and that means there's an ATIS at Palma as well. So we'll see if we can pick that up in a moment. Let's see if we can spot Mariner as well behind us. He was an Iberia, so let's see if we can spot an IBE somewhere. There he is, IBE 120, there he is, beautiful. Mariner Halley, fantastic, awesome, still within the Swiss radar airspace there. So, fantastic, we are over the ocean here at the moment, and like I say, there is a controller on and an ATIS at Palma. So let's before we do our briefing, let's make sure we've got all the information correct. So first of all, coming to the tablet here, we can't actually get the ATIS just yet. Obviously we're not in range, so I tell you what we'll do is we'll see if we can get the ATIS through the AOC here. So we'll go ATIS and we'll go for Arrival, which is already selected, and Lima Echo Papa Alpha, which is Palma de Mallorca, is already selected as well. So we'll send that through. We'll go format for printer and we'll click send. Okay, it looks like we're picking up another frequency. It looks like the frequency just changed on its own again. Why does that keep happening? Unicom we need 122.8. There we go. Let me just check something real quick. Flight assistant. Is this guy interfering with the radios? He is not. Okay, I don't know why it keeps changing frequency on its own. It's a bit weird. Anyways, so we sent our ATIS request off. We don't have a company message just yet. It's taken a little while to come through, isn't it? Interesting. Wait. Oh, it says we've viewed it already. Interesting. Okay, we'll print that out anyway. Wait, what? What is going on here? Anyway, there we go. It's printing out for us. Absolutely love to see it. Okay, so we've got Palma de Mallorca Airport ATIS information Juliet at time 1300. So about 50 minutes ago now. Obviously that's in Zulu time. Clearance delivery. Expect ILS Zulu approach runway 24 left. I think that's what we actually planned for, which is nice. Let's just check here. Yes, we did. Okay, great stuff. So we can expect that arrival then that we actually chose. So the rest is just weather information. Don't necessarily need to pay attention to that just yet. Oh, look at that! Oh, beautiful. You can just see the coast of France here off to the right hand side. Looking very nice. Looking very nice indeed. Zach Attack is back. Welcome back to the chat, brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. What I'd love to see, bad weather on destination and activate of an alternate flight plan. Yeah, Manacle, that'd be really cool actually. I would love to see that too, but in this aircraft they don't have an active secondary flight plan just yet, so we can't do that in the A32NX. We could actually do that in the CRJ. That has a secondary flight plan that works, so we could give that a try at some point. That's a nice idea. I like that. What gate are we parking at? That is a very good question. I've not planned on a gate yet, but we can have a look at that now. So let's bring up the charts then, and we'll do our approach briefing. So our arrival, or our star, is going to be the Lunnik to Papa. So we're going to come in via Lunnik. This is Lunnik to Papa coming down this route here. That's going to take us in towards the Cap de Pera VOR. There is a hold here as well. And down to Nakop, Arnav fix at 250 knots. 250 knots is actually a speed limit up here as well, so we need to bear that in mind. CDP, this VOR, is actually our transition onto the ILS. So we're not actually going to fly this section down here. We're going to transition from that point onto the ILS. So if we bring up that chart, the CDP is here off to the side. Let's just close this off. The CDP, minimum altitude is 4,500 for this leg here. And then descending down to 2,500 feet for Abumu. You can see the minimum altitude written below each sort of line, if you like. And then 2,500 is in fact the platform altitude, and we'll intercept the glide slope at 7.5 miles from the ILS, which is identified as IPAL. 109.3 inbound course of 238, and the descent angle is just your standard 3 degrees. Minimums are at a little bit higher than your average here, so 239 feet above sea level, 231 above ground level, and that is that. Very good. Go around altitude is at 3,000 feet, climbing on runway heading, and then turning left to intercept 193 of the Son Sant Joan VOR at the Palma Son Sant Joan VOR, JOA. So we'll have the JOA VOR tuned for the arrival, and also the Cap de Pera VOR as well, in case we need to rely on those for whatever reason. So we'll pin that there, and then what we'll also do is we'll jump over and get the taxi charts for Palma, which is going to be here. Not this one, sorry. So if you're using Navigraph charts, I know Asa, you just got Navigraph. A very helpful tip on Navigraph. If you want to find the airport chart, so the taxiways and the parking spaces, you always want to look for the 10-9 chart. It's always called the 10-9, or in some bigger airports it's called the 20-9, but it's always -9 on the taxi section of these charts. So if you're ever looking for this one, basically, which you'll need for most routes, that's that one there. So we're going to be landing on 24 left. We'll probably have quite a short taxi in. What I might do actually is I might request this upper terminal here, because it's quite impressive looking in the sim, in the scenery. Sorry, not that terminal, this one right here, if I remember correctly. I think it's that one, I hope it is anyway. So we'll go for that one. So in terms of parking stands, that means we're going to request stand 44. So I'm just going to make a couple of notes here on my notepad. Lunnik to Papa. Just as a reminder, what we're doing as our arrival route, we're expecting ILS Zulu 24 left, and we're going to request stand 44. So Lunnik is a minimum required altitude of flight level 100. So that's what we'll plan for our descent. And then what we'll also do is we'll probably be passed over to, or we'll probably contact Palma Approach at that point. So then we'll probably get further descent clearance from them. So there we go. Stand 44, Asa. Okay, so let's get some things plugged in to the MCDU here. So first of all, we'll stick in those VORs that we wanted. So we've got the, I've actually forgotten the names for them already. So we wanted the CDP and JOA. So CDP in the top left and JOA. Usually I put them in the order that they're going to appear on the flight plan. So we'll stick them in. We'll make sure we've got those turned on as well. Turn them on the first officer's side. Hopefully he's paying attention. So we're getting close to our top of descent here, so I'm going to do this quite quickly. We want to be above flight level 100 at Lunnik. So to calculate that, I'm just going to go progress and type in Lunnik. This is going to give us a straight line distance to Lunnik. So 80 miles. We're currently at flight level 350, so that means we've got 25,000 feet to lose. So let's go 25 times 3, which is, well, 75 really. So we need about 75 miles to get down there. So we'll actually start our descent in just a couple of seconds here. What we'll do is we'll put in our perf for the arrival as well. So looking at the ATIS here that we got earlier on, the QNH is 1018. The temperature is 28 degrees, nice and toasty. Winds are 230 degrees, 13 knots, so quite windy in Palma. And the transition level is 7.5, so 7,500 is going to be our transition altitude. And then if you remember, the minimums for our ILS approach is we're a Cat C aircraft, 239 feet. 239er. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll dial in 10,000 feet here, and we'll start our descent. Palma traffic, Swiss 2149er at top of descent, descending from flight level 350 to flight level 100. Lunik 2 Papa arrival, Palma traffic. Alright, so just making a quick announcement there on Unicom, so people know what we're doing. Holy crap, this flight has gone quickly. Look at this beautiful scenery over the sea here. Nice contrail there, you can see as we're descending down, it's kind of going above us, which is very cool. Love to see it. Quite a decent nose down there, haven't we? Interesting. Alright, so you guys may remember we've got a transition altitude of 7,500 feet. So that basically means we're going to change from standard altimeter to sea level altimeter setting once we get below that level, and we'll also refer to the altitude as an altitude, so we'll say something 1,000 feet rather than flight level. So above flight level 7,500 feet, we'll say flight level 80, for example, for 8,000, and below that we'll use thousands on the radios. Have you got SimWing, Scenery, or Just Sim? I've got neither. I have got JustFlight. So JustFlight Scenery for Palma is not yet released. They sent me it as a preview copy, and we're going to be previewing that once we arrive at the destination here. And yeah, we'll have a good look around. We'll look around every little nook and cranny and check it out in its fullest, so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Which DH do you use by default? Cat 1, 2, or 3? Generally Cat 1. Cat 1. It depends on your aircraft as well. For example, obviously the Airbus A320 is very well equipped, so you could do for a Cat. You could do a Cat 3 approach. You could do. In fact, let me just bring up the charts. It might not even have a Cat 3 on here. Oh, it does. Cat 3A ILS. You can also do Cat 3B, which is basically an auto land, where it had a 0 DH. But yeah, generally I go for Cat 1 unless we're expecting like super bad weather. If the airport's, you know, putting out a message saying, you know, low visibility ops in low visibility operations are enforced. So yeah, generally Cat 1. It's very rare, to be honest, you would have to do a Cat 3. But you can, obviously, you know, if you were wanting to test out your auto land in your aircraft. Obviously, most airlines just do an auto land every now and again to make sure it's all working properly. Obviously, you would then use a Cat 3 minimum. But we're just going to go for a Cat 1 because obviously the weather's quite fine. It's going to be visual, and we don't really need to use anything lower than that. But technically, I suppose you could use a Cat 3 minimum. It's really up to you at the end of the day. I think, you know, this kind of stuff is really just this is sort of SOP type stuff. So it's something that an airline would actually choose, if you know what I mean. You know, it's not really. I suppose it's probably not standard across all airlines. It just depends on how they like to operate and their SOP. Okay, so let's get the approach controller frequency dialed in then. So 119.4. We're not in range. Oh, we are in range actually. Let's see how far we are away from Lunik. We've got 30 miles to go to Lunik. And we're at, we've got 12,000 feet to lose. So we are a bit high on the profile at the moment, but that's fine. It's okay. Lunik is a minimum altitude, so we don't have to be below 10,000. We have to be above it. So it's okay that we're a little bit high here. It's not an issue. Let's speak to the approach controller now. Seems though we're in range. 119.4. Make sure no one else is talking on the radio, of course. Let me make sure that frequency is correct as well, 1194. Okay. Palma approach, good afternoon, Swiss 2149er. Passing flight level 203 for flight level 100.
Swiss 2149er Palma control, hello, identified, cleared, Lunik to Papa arrival, expect a full approach, runway 24 left, descend flight level 80.
Third for Lunik 2 Papa approach, expect ILS, Zulu 24 left, descend flight level 80, Swiss 2149er. Okay, there we go. So ATC has actually cleared us down to a lower altitude than what is the required altitude at Lunik. So again, absolutely good. Obviously not a lot of inbound traffic to Palma at the moment, so he can get us on our way a little bit quicker, which is very nice to see. What we can also do as well, now that we don't have to worry about that waypoint anymore, is we can put in LEPA 24 left, and we'll stick that in here. So that's going to give us a straight line distance to the runway threshold, which is basically just boom, like that. It's highly unlikely we'll get a direct onto the ILS from here, I imagine, but we'll see what happens. It's only a short arrival, so we'll probably expect to fly most of it. 94 miles to go. Okay, we are on profile and looking good. Yeah, no worries, Manacle. Pleasure. I love the hum. What is the hum?
Hello.
Just out of interest. This is something I'm doing and I just don't realize it.
At 2,500 feet, 20 miles west of Palma, inbound to land.
Delta Echo, Papa Mike, Alpha Palma control, hello, Squawk 7010.
Squawk 7010, Delta Echo, Papa Mike Alpha.
All right. Cool. We're rocking
Delta
on the descent.
Papa Mike Alpha, identified. QNH 1018, landing runway 24 right, enter the Palma control zone via November Whiskey.
We've got a TCAS set to below, which is fine. And one thing I didn't say when I contacted this controller is that we had information Juliet. I'm actually just going to get a refresh on the ATIS. Let's make sure it's not changed. I think it actually prints out automatically now, doesn't it? Actually, when you format it for printer. Let's see what happens. Oh, the door's not locked. All right. Let's see if it prints out on its own. It does. Beautiful. Okay, fantastic. So we've got information kilo now. We might be able to update a bit of this information on here. So temperature is 29 now, a little bit warmer. QNH is 1018 still. Winds are 220 degrees at 13 knots. So we'll put that in there. Transition altitude is obviously still the same. Okay, great stuff.
Palma control, Jet25 Hotel, flight level 180, climbing 6000.
Jet 25 Hotel, Palma control, hello, identified, climb flight level 140.
Alright, so approaching 10,000 feet now. Aircraft is slowing itself down to 250 knots, and Lunik will basically bang on what we wanted, so that's great. We'll turn on the landing lights now, as well as the takeoff lights and the runway turn-off lights. That is all looking good. Do a quick check on the ECAM status. Alright. So we're cleared down to flight level 80. So what you'll probably notice now is when he gives us our next clearance, he's going to clear us down to, say, 7,000 feet or 6,000 feet or something like that. He's not going to say a flight level because he's going to send us below the transition level. All right. When I'm clearing my voice, okay. Yeah, it's probably something I never noticed, to be honest. Okay, we've got outer tank fuel transfers, which seems to be something that always happens in this aircraft.
Proceed direct.
We're going to set low auto brake now that we are starting the approach. Look at that. Beautiful. There's Mallorca in front of us. This scenery is looking a bit weird, but okay, we'll take it. I hope they fix this stuff. It just looks really not that great, does it? It could look so much better.
2149 direct Babum.
Direct Babum, Swiss 2149er. Alright, he's given us a direct to Babum, which is nice. We cut the corner off there. So we're going to go, boom, straight across now. He hasn't cleared us for any further descent though, so we do need to sort of hope that he gives us something fairly soon.
Palma Control,
you can see the CDP VOR is now picked up, which was down here. You can see this arrow pointing off to it.
Alpha departure.
I'm just going to turn the music down a bit here so I can hear the controller a bit better.
Climb level 240, speedbird 2573.
So we've just got a shortcut basically, rather than going to CDP like this, we've been given a shortcut basically straight across to the ILS. So we're kind of cutting off from, we're kind of up here, and we're kind of cutting it off and coming straight in.
Jet 25 Hotel, no further ATC available. Monitor uniform 122.8. Have a nice flight, bye bye.
So we need to get down to 2,500 feet by Babylon.
Service and by Jet 25.
Well, not by Babylon, by Obumu. So we need to get to 4,000 by Babylon, really. 4,500. So that's 3,500 feet to lose. 369. We just need just over 10 miles to do that. Okay, fine. So we're good at this altitude for a little bit. But we do need to request some further descent fairly soon. Generally what I'll do to work out an altitude that I need to be at, we need to be at Bavon by 4,000. Well, not by 4,500, minimum 4,500. So we could plan to be there at that point. So we need to use 3,500 feet. So we times 3,500 by 3. That gives us 10,500. Divide that by 1,000. So you get 10.5. The 10.5 miles roughly we need. You can see we're 26 miles away from Bavum. You can also see that here. Alright, beautiful. This is Porta Pollença in front of us, I believe, if I remember correctly. Let me just bring up the map again. It is indeed. Porta Pollença down here. Came here many times, fortunately, as a child with my family. Spent a lot of time holidaying just along this coastline here. Not been there for many years though. Alright, let's do a quick approach checklist. So briefing is confirmed, ECAM status is checked, landing distance is going to be approximately 37 miles.
Palma Control, good afternoon, Channel 926 depart, 24 right, Bravo 3 Alpha
Seatbelts are set, barrel ref is standard both sides at the moment, minimums are set at 239er, and the engine mode selector is in normal. That is the approach checklist complete. Let's just double check we've got the ILS frequency properly tuned. IPAL is correct, and 109.3 should be the frequency, so let's just check that real quick. 109.3, that is correct.
Delta Echo Papa Mike Alpha report November Whiskey to Tower 118.3. Bye bye.
You can also see the controller's probably keeping us a little bit high here as well because of this MSA sector here. 5,500 feet is the minimum. So he's probably keeping us a bit high as well for that reason. If we'd gone all the way around here, you see how it's a lower sector altitude, 3,000 feet, so we would have been able to descend there. But here, he's probably going to give us a descent clearance a bit later, so that we pass out of here and into this sector before we sort of reach that altitude. So we've got 15 nautical miles to go until Bavum. I'm going to...
2149 at descent altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1017, cleared ILS full approach, runway 24 left.
Descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1018, cleared ILS approach, 24 left, Swiss 2149er.
QNH 1017.
Apologies, QNH 1017, Swiss 2149. Okay, cool. So let's go to standard altimeter. Sorry, let's go to sea level altimeter now. I'm actually just going to set this 1017, and I'm going to press B on my keyboard to make sure that the QNH actually matches what's in sim, because that's really what's important. So he said 1017, so the sim obviously doesn't match perfectly with real life, which is actually quite rare these days. But yeah, I've got to make sure that's correct. And as you can see, just as I was about to request further descent, he gave us further descent to 5,000 feet. Again, as you know, likely because of that MSA that we were talking about just a minute ago. Look at this out the window now, though. Come on now, look at that. Absolutely stunning. Quick passenger view. Oh yes. Woo-hoo-hoo. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see what we've got here. Beautiful. Oh my god. It looks so good once it's rendered in, but when you're far away, it does look like kind of like trash. Very nice indeed. Very nice. Oh, I thought it had crashed then for a second. Okay, so approaching 5,000 feet. We've got our QNH set, 1019er. All looking good.
Channel 926, same intention.
Let's see. So we're still in the 5,500 MSA sector.
Just climb for 340 inbound, bit low. Any chance we could get a direct to Delta Romeo Alpha Golf Oscar?
Channel 926, direct Drago.
So we've picked up the Joa VOR now as well, which is basically on the airport. Oh, he has actually cleared us for the ILS, hasn't he, as well? So I'm going to activate the landing system. I'm actually going to activate approach mode here because we can capture the localizer once we come down here.
Palma Control muy buena, responda 6255.
So LS push button on both sides, and yeah, we're in range 80 miles to the runway. We should get localizer capture just as we turn in here. Localizer's coming in. Lock star. We should get a glide slope star here as well. Let's go to perf. Approach phase hasn't activated on its own for some reason, so I'll activate that myself. That's going to start the aircraft slowing down a bit. We've got quite a long final here, so we should be okay. 16 miles is fine. Should be able to slow down. Glide slope star, localizer capture. Glide slope capture, beautiful stuff. Okay, fantastic. Let's set the go around altitude of 3,000 feet.
2149er, contact Palma Construction, contact Palma Tower 118.3. Have a nice landing, bye bye.
One 183 for Swiss 2149er. Thank you. Bye bye.
Stewart 2573, no further.
Runway 24 left, Delta Mike Alpha.
Let's get a bit of speed brake in here because we do need to get some flaps out. Oh dear, why is that timer on? Anyway. Palma Tower, good afternoon. Swiss 2149er established, ILS 24 left.
Swiss 2149er, buenas tardes. Continue approach 24 left, will be one light traffic landing in front, after you. Before you.
Roger, continue approach Swiss 2149er. Okay, flaps 1. That should help us slow down now, so I'm going to put the speed brakes in.
And Delta Mike Alpha, wind 230 degrees, 12 knots, runway 24 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 24 left, Delta Mike Alpha.
And Swiss 2149, I expect late clearance.
Roger, Swiss 1249. Alright, so we've got the runway in sight. We're on the profile here, looking absolutely stunning out the window.
2,500.
Absolutely brilliant. Let's see if I can. I'm going to put on flight recorder here so we can look back on the replay. Hopefully it loads in time. 7 miles to go. We're slowing down quite slowly here, so I'm going to just get the speed brakes back in. We're at 2,000 feet. Let's get the gear down. That'll help us slow down a bit as well. The gear creates a lot of drag on the 320. So we're below the little VFTO-NXT symbols, the little orange eyebrows. Flaps 2. Let's ping the cabin. Okay,
please prepare for that.
There we go. Flaps 3. There we go. Beautifully recovered. Let's get the speed brakes in and armed. And we'll continue slowing down. We'll go for flaps full. And landing checklist. Cabin crew advised, auto thrust is in speed, auto brake is low, ECAM memo is landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. Let's go. Let's get it. I've not landed this thing quite some time, guys, so I'm just getting my excuses in now. This might be a bit of a rubbish landing, but we'll see. Just waiting for that clearance, really. Let's disconnect. Just getting a feel for how it handles, because it's been a while since I've properly manually flown this.
Thank you, Swiss 2149, wind 230 degrees, 12 knots, runway 24 left, clear to land.
24 left, clear to land, Swiss 2149er.
Delta Mike Alpha, welcome to Mallorca, taxi via
Okay,
south,
so the wind
Quebec,
that he gave me is quite a bit different to what's in sim. The sim wind is basically a headwind of 7 knots.
Taxi via south, Quebec,
slightly
to
from the
General
left.
Aviation, Delta Mike Alpha.
Yeah, seems like the real world weather is quite a bit different.
400. 300.
A little bit of a bump there, turbulence.
100 above. 200. Minimum.
Minimums continue. Again,
100.
blowing a little bit right of centre line here.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Okay, idle reverse. Release, let the nose down. Tiny, tiny float there, but I'm going to take that. Freaking hell, 34 feet per minute. All right, 80 knots. Baby, welcome. Welcome to Palma, people. Okay, manual braking, and let's get off the runway here. Flaps up. Disarm the spoilers there. Beautiful. Landing system off, constraints off. Do we have a ground controller on here? No, we do not. Runway vacated. Request taxi to stand 44 Swiss 2149er.
Swiss 2149er, no problem. 44 is available. Taxi to stand 44 via South Link and Golf.
Taxi stand 44 via Southlink and Golf Swiss 2149. Thank you. Okay, beautiful stuff. Let's get the landing lights off.
Palma Tower, good afternoon. EC
and strobe lights, we'll get the nose lights, taxi, and start the APU.
A32NX request to London Luton.
Great stuff. Parking brake is set. We'll just verify where we're going real quick.
We are closing some for clearance.
Oh, we timed that right, didn't we? He's just going off. I feel bad for Mariner though.
Delta Mike Alpha, welcome to Mallorca, frequency.
Okay, so he said go via Southlink and Golf. So that's the first right here, and then a left onto.
Delta Mike Alpha shutting down.
How do you get onto Golf?
And Swiss 2149, welcome to Mallorca again, and you can report if you want taxi on Unicom 228. Ciao.
Roger, thank you very much for service, Swiss 1249. Let's just see the parking stands chart real quick. So, yeah, so we're going to take a right turn onto Southlink, and then I guess it just continues round, and then Golf is a left here, and then to stand 44 round here, and then stand 44. Great stuff. All right, here we are, guys. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's release the parking brake anyway, and let's get underway. Tell you what we'll do is just to mix things up a bit here. Let's go for a single engine taxi in. So we'll turn the yellow electric pump on here on the right hand side, and we're going to just turn off the right engine and let that power down. So we're going to take a right turn here onto South Link. Quite difficult to see the signage actually, but you can actually see it there. South 4. See the beautiful scenery over there as well. Fantastic. Welcome to JustFlight Palma, guys. Welcome, welcome. If you enjoyed the stream, if you enjoyed the landing, and you've not liked the stream already, do hit that thumbs up button down below. That's super, super helpful for the channel. So I really appreciate that if you take the time to do so. If you're enjoying the content and you thought that landing was absolute butter, which I do believe it was myself. Oh, I tell you what though, guys, I forgot to start the flight recorder. I actually started it, like the application, but I forgot to click record. Oh, that's a shame. That is a big shame. So one thing I will say about this scenery is the ground markings. Although I have looked at maps of the airport, they are super accurate in their position and size and things like that. I think the colour on them looks a bit off to me. Like, they don't really blend with the ground that well, in my opinion. But nevertheless, we're going to take a left here onto the to continue on South Link. So we're taxiing here, just using the left engine. So we are getting sort of pushed to the right a bit here. So I'm having to correct for that quite a lot here. As you can see, you've got the hydraulic PTU activated. I wonder if you can hear that. You can kind of hear that whirring sound. Quite cool. Beautiful stuff. Alright, here we go. Left onto Golf is the next turn. As you can see, we've got Golf in yellow. And then you've got it on the ground as well. Very nice clear ground markings here though at JustFlight Palma. Love to see it. Let's brake down for this turn. We're a bit fast here. There we go. That should do it. Okay, so continuing right on to Golf. Ooh. Beautiful. Thank you very much for liking the stream, whoever just did that. Much appreciated. So we've got stand 4-4, which should be the third one in, if I remember correctly. So we've got stand 4-8 here, stand 4-6, and then stand 4-4. And yeah, we're looking good. Look at this beautiful terminal here. Here we go, stand 4-4 just coming up here. Let's turn off the nose lights so we don't blind the ground crew as we turn in. Bit of a late turn there. Due to the fact I was trying to turn the lights off. I really need to set a new keybind for those. Beautiful. It's quite difficult to make a sharp left turn like this with just the just that one engine going. That's not a bad lineup. Oh, we've stopped. We've lost our momentum. I'm gutted I didn't record that landing now. That was super buttery, wasn't it? Come on. Here you go. Keep it going. Look how beautiful this Swiss livery looks in the sun like that. We don't have a marshaller here, unfortunately, so we're just going to have to use the outside view. There we go. Okay, parking brake is set. APU should be on and available, which it is. Flap open as well. Great stuff. Let's come down here, turn engine 1 off. We turn the transponder off as well as the TCAS. Predictive wind shear we should have already turned off. And we didn't do the after landing checklist. which we'll do now. After landing, flaps retracted, spoilers are disarmed, APU is on, radar is off, predictive wind shear is off. After landing, checklist complete. Get the APU bleed on and turn the seat belts off, as well as the beacon lights. We'll also go ahead and turn the fuel pumps off, and we'll also turn the electric pump off as well. The yellow electric pump, and the external power can come on as well, and we'll leave it as it is like that for now. Great stuff. We could turn the APU bleed off as well, we don't really need that, we've got external power now. Okie dokie, and just checking around the cabin, making sure we've not missed anything else. Great stuff. We'll unlock the cockpit door now as well. Okay, so parking checklist. Yellow electric pump is off, APU bleed is off, engines are off, seatbelts are off, external lights as required, fuel pumps are off, and that is the parking checklist complete. Okay, fantastic. Let's get the jetway connected. Get the catering and the baggage and the power supply all connected up. Let's see if they actually spawn in here. They have. I think it's weird because they spawn in, but then they don't do anything, so you even got to click it again. There we go. Great stuff. And there we go. Custom jetway as well here at JustFlight Palma. Look at that view though. Beautiful. Only thing I've noticed about this is that if you look through the window there, it looks a bit blurry inside. It's a bit strange like that. I'm not sure if it's intended like that or not. In fact, having said that, I had a word with JustFlight, and that blurry glass is actually a sim limitation. I did actually ask them about that. Alright guys, so let's have a look around JustFlight Palma. APU is still powering down, so that's going to be on for a few minutes here. So here we are, stand 4-4, looking very nice in Swiss livery. So first of all, looking at the jetways here, we've got a custom jetway, quite nicely textured, nicely done, nicely detailed. Little staircase off the side as well, which is a nice little detail. One thing I'm noticing about this scenery is there's not a lot of ground clutter going on as well, if you know what I mean. So around the stands and things like that, there's not that much going on. But nevertheless, the ground textures are looking pretty good. Not too bright, although this red line is quite bright. The rest of them are looking pretty good. Nice sort of oil stains and stuff on the ground. For some reason these paving stones are not lining up, which is a bit strange. And this looks a bit strange. Not sure what this is supposed to be. But there we go. Now, what is really impressive about the scenery is, in fact, this interior here. You can see it's fully modelled inside, and you can come inside and it looks very, very convincing. Very much like the real airport. Looking very cool, and you can even look out the glass and see the tint. It's still, if you see what I mean, it looks a bit blurry out the glass as well, like that. But nevertheless, it still looks pretty cool. So you can even come down to stand C46 here. We can even go down to our stand here, C48, and you obviously take the little staircase down, and then on to the aircraft through the jetway, which you can actually walk down by the looks of things, sort of. Boom! We got there in the end. That's pretty cool. Let's see if we can get a good shot from in here. This is quite a cool, like, foreground type situation. Very cool, very cool. COVID time, nobody inside. Yeah, they've even actually got the COVID-19 little notices on here as well, which is kind of cool. Oh, we've got another VATSIM user just logged in there. Okay, and then we've also got this jetway is a bit different. It's got the sort of glass on it as well on this one. Quite nice. And then this is sort of the situation with the main, the other main terminal area. You've got this kind of smooth finish to it. And then there's even a little tiny interior in these ones, just to give that kind of effect. And yeah, I mean, this is much of the same story for the rest of the terminal. You've got these extremely shiny windows, which I don't think either look bad or particularly good in my opinion, but nevertheless, they're still quite good. At night, they look pretty good as well. I'll show you that in a bit. Got this cool detail on the top here. The modeling is super nice on this, so it looks super crisp. Like if you look, for example, at this curve around the edge of this building, always a sign of good modeling when you've got a nice smooth curve there. You've got that sort of roof structure here as well, which is looking pretty cool. Looking around in general, we've got quite a bit of clutter and stuff going on behind over here, which is quite cool. Again, the ground markings, very, very accurate, very good. I actually looked on Google Maps to see what the ground markings were actually like, because in the sort of description of this, they sort of stressed how accurate the ground markings were on it, and they are extremely accurate to the real airports. But the colour on them is just, I don't know if it looks a bit off to me, a bit too white, if you know what I mean. There's these like kind of, yeah, not. It still does the job, you know. It's still great, and overall the ground textures are very good. You've got all this staining as well down on the stands here, which is quite cool. Yeah, and then down here you've obviously got some kind of parking area for probably for staff, something like that. And then you've got another cool little sort of glass-fronted terminal building here, or gate area, which is very cool. Little children's play area and everything in here. Very cool attention to detail. It'd be quite cool to park your aircraft up here actually as well. Get quite a cool shot from in here with the stuff in the foreground. You can actually see our aircraft just all the way down there now. Alright, and then making our way back down and round, we've got a gentleman here with his pushback tug ready. Another little detail about this airport that is very cool. I'll see if I can find a ground vehicle, but basically all the ground vehicles... Oh, it's Acer! Dude! How are you doing, brother? Welcome, welcome. He's got the Swiss livery as well, looking very, very nice indeed. I've got another Swiss taxiing in there as well. I don't know if necessarily these all... Oh no, wait, no, that's an A320, isn't it? Standard. Alright, yeah, so look, here's a ground vehicle. They actually stick to the roads. They don't actually go in the taxiways like on some sceneries where the ground vehicles will drive all over the taxiways. These guys will actually follow the proper roads around the airport, which is quite cool. Maybe they're not sticking perfectly to their lane, but I think the most important thing is that they actually stay off the taxiways, which is very, very cool to see. Alright, and continuing around here, you've got a bunch of buses parked up. You've got this building here, I'm not sure what this is. It looks like an airport sort of maintenance building. ANA is the sort of owners of the airport, I believe, or the maintainers. Little roundabout area. Very, very cool. Also have these grid lines that are showing up. Now, this is a sim issue. Don't think that these grid lines are anything to do with the scenery. It's definitely a sim issue, that. Okay, so continuing round, you've got some more remote stands here, all very nicely textured. You've got the new runway layout as well. This northern runway has actually fairly recently been renovated, and they've changed a bunch of these taxiways that lead onto the runway. So very nicely done, getting the correct layout and everything done properly. Although, what I would say is the runway textures versus the actual satellite imagery, at least what I've seen on Google anyway. Google obviously might be outdated, but this runway texture is not very accurate. The real runway has a lot more sort of grey tarmac on it rather than this dark black sort of colour. But nevertheless, it's still pretty decent. We've got a cool little hangar over here, which is very nicely modelled and textured quite well. More little buildings down here. Lots of custom buildings in this airport. So like down here you've got the, I'm assuming this is possibly the fire station. All custom buildings, very, very cool indeed. And then coming down this way, got this terminal here, this sort of blue terminal. I'm not sure what it's called, but it is a terminal and it's blue. This has got the quite cool sort of, it's a bit like a lot of German airports this, where they have the walkway going across the taxiway like this for the jetway. Quite nicely done. Yeah, nice. Texturing on here is looking okay. They've got some nice reflective windows in there, which is awesome to see. Your airport looks poo. Oh no. What scenery are you using, Acer? Oh, fire engine just there. I'm not sure what this is on the ground here. Can't tell what that is. Alright, and then going further down, we've got some more little custom buildings here, all looking very, very nice. Now, we've got this hangar here. SEM hangar. Oh, look at these cool radio towers as well, which are looking very, very cool. Now, I believe the doors on this are supposed to close, but I've never seen them close. So let's just wait here for a second and see if they actually close. Is there a GA parking area? Yes, there is. Yeah, we'll get round to that. It's actually on the other side of the airport. But yeah, there is actually a GA area. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily GA, but it's definitely for smaller aircraft. Alright, just while we're waiting for these hangar doors to do something. Fair few people here today, love to see it. Yeah, while we're waiting for these hangar doors to close, if you are enjoying the content, if this kind of preview is helping you know what the scenery is like and decide on a scenery, please do hit that thumbs up button. You know, don't hit the rating based on whether you like the scenery or not. Hit it the fact that this is helping you make a decision. Really, really helpful for the channel. And yeah, I would very much appreciate. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. That is a nice animation. Oh, it even closes in from the side here as well. You see the actual... Nice. That is very, very cool. Although they seem to be opening straight away. Interesting. Wait. Is it actually triggered when someone comes near them? I think it might be actually. I'm not sure. Interesting. We'll have to see. We'll come back round to that. Maybe bring an aircraft round and see. We've got this other hangar here, which is nice and PBR shiny, looking pretty good. This building as well, very nicely modelled. Got to respect the circles. And then down here, a few more custom buildings as well. This looks like a staff entrance. And then a little aircraft here. Great stuff. that's the north side. Let's pop over to the south side now. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. So what else have we got? We've got some cars parked. Looks like a rental car area this. Yeah, we've got a sixth little tent for the cars in there. There must be some offices around here as well. And what else have we got? Looks like executive terminal for private jets, something like that. This is the GA area here as well, by the way. Chris? Oh, AC, you've got default. Fair enough, dude. Well, there is a few sceneries available for this airport now. There's the JustSim one. There's this one as well, which is not out yet, but it should be out fairly soon. And I think there's one more that someone mentioned in the chat as well, but I'm not actually aware of that one myself. Little cargo stands here, cargo area, I suppose. DHL, and then ground force, obviously ground handling and things like that. Some nice blast fencing. Love to see it. And then down here to the southern part of the terminal. Again, very similar story to what I was showing you earlier on. It does actually have these visual docking guidance systems as well, which is very cool. These actually work as well. They are functional in the sim. And the thing is, they're basically tied to the workplace personnel, if you like. So people that are on the ground or workers. And they only spawn under certain conditions. So you can't always use them. Again, it's a sim limitation, but if you happen to arrive and come into a gate, and this should be functional. I've not tried it personally, but we'll have to. Actually, let's give it a try in a minute. We'll take a little GA aircraft out. We'll take a little GA aircraft out for a bit of a circuit. We'll do a little circuit, and then we'll come in and land. And if you request a gate using the in-game ATC, I think there's a higher chance of the ground services spawning in at a gate. So we'll request a gate, and we'll see if we can get the guidance system to work. And yeah, we'll have a look at that. So then, much to the similar story coming along here, looking pretty nice. The only one thing I would say about these textures is maybe they could do with a little bit more weathering on them. But other than that, the modelling is absolutely fantastic and really nice. And yeah, it's much of the same story all the way around here. Look at how many aircraft there is here. It's brilliant. And then we can have a look quickly at the landside area, which is looking very nice indeed. As you can see, very nicely done on this terminal area, or the departures area. Looking very cool. You've got a Jet 2 hoarding here, and the piece de resistance is moving elevators or moving lifts. Love to see it. Very nice detail. Look at this one going. Even the doors close on the lift as well. Do you see that? Let's see if we can see it inside here. Oh, we can't. Hang on. Yeah. Is it going to stop here? Yeah, and the doors. Oh, look at that. Love to see it. And you've got these nice little triangle windows here as well that you might be familiar with if you've ever been to the airports. And yeah, looking very nice on the land side. Very detailed, to be honest with you. All custom buildings and custom textures for the ground as well, which is something that you don't always see at a lot of scenery add-ons. Usually they use the default textures for the ground on the land side. So good to see that. A lot of detail in these bus stops as well, which is very cool. And then, yeah, lots of nice custom cars and custom TUI buses. Very cool. And there we have it. That is Palma by JustFlight. Very cool indeed. Very cool indeed. All right. Let's see. Chris is asking, I presume you're using the drone cam with the Xbox controller to look around. I am indeed. Yes. By the way, guys, if that preview, you enjoyed it, if it's helpful to you, do hit the thumbs up button on the YouTube video. I hate to keep asking you guys, but because this is my first sort of exclusive YouTube stream, I do want to try and get that YouTube algorithm working for me. So I really appreciate that if that's helpful to you. Mine is really slow. How do you make it quicker? So there's a couple of ways. You can use the X button and the backwards and the rear triggers to change the speed, or you can actually go to the camera up here, obviously on showcase, and then change the the drone speed here using this slider as well. You can change the rotation speed as well on there. You realize how much work is needed for all these details to which we pay no attention for most of our flights? Yeah, I know, mate. It's absolutely crazy. You've got to hand it to scenery developers for all the detail they put into these airports, especially on the land side as well, which you probably very rarely look at, to be honest. But nevertheless, yeah, really, really great to see little details. I mean, personally, I am a big fan of, you know, little details in airports and things like that, and sceneries. You know, I really really appreciate that when developers do that kind of detailing, because it's just, even though you don't see it all the time, just knowing it's there adds so much to the sort of immersion of the airport, I think, in my opinion. So yeah, I really appreciate when developers do that. It's just brilliant to see. All right, I tell you what we'll do then, guys, is let's see how far away Mariner is. Let's see if we can see his landing. Okay, it looks like he's just coming in off the coast now. So what I'll do is I'll just do a quick reconnect to vPilot. In fact, what we're going to do is we are going... Let's see if we can spot him first of all. So vPilot is here. Let's just see if we can actually see him on approach. Unless this is him. I hope we've not missed his landing. Can't see any planes out there. Let's have a look on the VFR map, because it does actually show VATSIM traffic on there. Oh, there we go. You've got 2 planes on approach. So, yeah, I think he's the second one. Cool. Okay, so I think we've got a few seconds here. I'm going to actually reload into the sim in a different aircraft, and we're going to try and see if we can get the guidance system to work for us. Tell you what we'll do is, while we're loading in as well, let's just what aircraft are we going to go for? That is the question. Let's go for the top rudder solo. I've never used this on stream, so let's go for it. Let's go for this funky livery right here, and we don't need to mess with the load and balance because it's going to be default. We're just going to go for a quick circuit. So we'll load in at Palma. We'll get loaded in on the GA ramp down here. And whilst that's loading, let's have a quick look at the landing on Sim Toolkit. So I don't know what it popped up on as. I don't know what it popped up as on screen. I know sometimes it measures a little bit differently to what actually it registers on Sim Toolkit, but nevertheless, on Sim Toolkit it registered as 34 feet per minute. You might be able to just read that there, and 1.32 G, so pretty good. And if we look at the landing report here, let's see how how long we landed. Oh, we're actually pretty good. So we're a little bit off center line there. I was a little bit struggling to keep the center line there, to be quite honest. Possibly because I'm just not entirely... well, I've not really thrown the A32NX in a while, so that's the excuse I'm using. And we were within the touchdown zone. We were towards the end of it, but nevertheless, pretty good. And we got a butter landing, so what can you say? You can't really complain at all there. Oh, I tell you what we did forget to do, though, is we forgot to use the landing calculator in the A32NX. I completely forgot that existed, but there is one in there. So, never mind. We'll do it next time, for sure. Alright, let's have a quick look then. This is the Top Rudder Solo by Asobo. Top Rudder 103 Solo, should I say, even. And as you can see, oh, they've got these custom windmills as well placed around the airport, which is really nice to see. So I'm going to reconnect to VPilot, but I'm going to connect as an observer so that we can fly around here and still see Mariner come in for a landing. Let's get this thing started up. It's quite a complex start procedure, so you'll have to bear with me just a moment whilst we get this popping. It's going to take me a little while to get this thing started up. As you can see, very complex, and took quite some time there to actually get it working. Let me just quickly change my controls here very, very quickly. Change this one to my prop. And we'll change the sensitivity on here just very quickly. Not sure what's going to work because I've not flown this since I had the new joystick. We'll go for something like that. Oh, not upwards. We want it down. There we go. That should do it. Okie dokie. There's no flaps on this. No, no mixture. Nothing really. Let's have a quick look. See if we can see Mariner coming in now. Oh no, have we missed him? Is that him right there? I think it is. Is that an Iberia? No, it's not actually, is it? Oh, it is an Iberia. Oh, balls. I think we've missed him. I think we've missed him. Sorry, Mariner. Let's see. Oh no, he's still in the sky according to the map here. Oh, there's two Iberias. Okay, so Mariner's still on final. All right, great stuff. Let's have a look then. Can't quite see him just yet. We'll just hang fire just a second here. Matt Nichols says, did you try the ILS approach in the new handcrafted airport in Switzerland? 4% glide slope or 4 degree, I assume that means, and a short runway, beautiful lake to the left. No, I haven't tried the ILS. No, I haven't. No, we have landed there. We did land there last stream, didn't we? Sorry, stream before last, we landed there, just doing VFR. So haven't tried the ILS just yet, but yeah, that looks like a really cool one to land at, especially with something like this CJ4, something like that. That'd be really cool. Let's see where he is. There we go. Looks like there's someone coming in on multiplayer as well at the same time. So anyone with a name tag is on multiplayer, and then without a name tag is on VATSIM. So here he is. Coming in the beautiful little A319, actually. I think maybe he's on X-Plane. Go on, no pressure. Let's see that butter. Oh, yes. Beautiful. It's kind of difficult to tell, sorry, landing rates and stuff when it's animated like that, but nevertheless, pretty good, pretty good. Slap bang in the center of the runway there, in the touchdown zone. Absolutely beautiful. All right, let's see if we can get some stuff working then with this guidance system. So we'll go for ATC. We'll just tune clearance and go for, well, let's see. Request taxi, remain in pattern.
Ground top rudder aircraft Foxtrot. Juliet Alpha Charlie Foxtrot. With India request taxi for takeoff, touch and go.
Top rudder aircraft Foxtrot. Juliet Alpha Charlie Foxtrot taxi to an
Oh my god, look at that taxi clearance, that's ridiculous.
Yankee Tree Lima, Quebec Lima, Papa Lima, Mike Lima, Kilo Lima, Juliet Lima, Golf Lima, Foxtrot Lima, Echo Lima, Delta Charlie November Hotel 4. Contact tower on 118.30 when ready.
Okay.
Taxi hold short runway 06 left via taxiway.
Go for 06 left.
Lima, Quebec Lima, Papa Lima, Mike Lima, Kilo Lima, Juliet Lima, Golf Lima, Foxtrot Lima, Echo Lima, Delta Charlie November Hotel 4. Top aircraft Alpha Charlie.
What is that taxi clearance about? I'm just going to do my own thing really on the taxi. I'm just speaking to them so that we've got you know, open comms so we can kind of see if they're going to give us that guidance system on the way in. Look how green this thing is. Oh baby. Look at the state. I'll tell you what we could do is we could just use this runway to our right here. And yeah, we'll use this runway to our right and we'll just go from there. Shouldn't be an issue. It's actually pretty windy at the moment now. It seems like a tail wheel getting lifted up there. Look, it is as well. All right. I don't even think we have a radio on this aircraft. I'm not sure how we're speaking to them. Alright, so this is 06 right here. Let's just take off. As long as we contact them when we're on the approach, we should still be able to get a clearance for a gate. We're going to have an extremely short takeoff roll here with the wind being almost dead down the runway. This plane really is, yeah, it really is. Look at these people down at the other end of the runway. They're lining up, but we're not even going to worry about them because we're actually probably going to take off before we even reach the threshold of the runway at this rate. Look at that, our tail wheel's off the ground. Watch if I had full power here. There we go, we're off the ground already. Sounds very funny as well. The engine's just it's just weird sounding. Look at the detailing on the engine though, it looks so nice. You have to admit, Asobo did an amazing job at modelling on their aircraft. It's just stunning. Look at that. This looks great. God damn, we're going slow here. Holy. Let's just peel off. Right, let's see if we can request a landing now. Tune approach, request flight following.
Approach top rudder aircraft Foxtrot. Juliet Alpha Charlie Foxtrot is type top rudder aircraft top rudder 103 solo 1 miles south of Palma 600 feet. Request flight following.
Top rudder aircraft Foxtrot. Juliet Alpha Charlie Foxtrot approach. Fox 0452.
Well, it's a good way to see the airport, at least from above. Normally squawk code, we'll stick that into our non-existent transponder. Okay.
Roger, top runner aircraft Alpha Charlie.
Can I please just get a request to land, please? Tower? Request full stop landing.
Palma Tower, top runner aircraft Foxtrot. Juliet Alpha Charlie Foxtrot is 2 miles southwest, 900 feet with India to land.
Top runner aircraft Foxtrot. Juliet Alpha Charlie Foxtrot Palma Tower. QNH 29.88 with 055 at 14.
Make right traffic runway 06 left. Okay, they really want me to use 06 left. Okay, let's just do it. That'd probably work better anyway. We'll just turn straight onto final. Hopefully they'll give us our clearance then. Good to land 06 left, great stuff.
Clear to land runway 06 left, top runner aircraft Alpha Charlie Foxtrot.
Okay, great stuff. Great way to see the airport though, isn't it? Your mower has the same engine, yeah, it probably does. See what kind of landing rate we can get with this thing. So slow coming in. 45 miles an hour. Not too bad though. There we go. How is it I'm able to get a lower landing rate in an Airbus than than an ultralight? All right. Now what we need to do is just ask for a taxi to the gate, and hopefully, what that'll mean is we can use one of the guidance systems to come into the gates. Even though obviously with an aircraft this small you would never really need to do that, but we're just doing it for science here. Just doing it for science. Oh, I've just taken off again by accident. What the world? Oh dear. I did not mean to take off then. Dear me. Alright, we'll go to ground now.
121.905 top runner aircraft Alpha Charlie Foxtrot.
Request taxi to gates, that's what we want.
Top runner aircraft Foxtrot. Juliet Alpha Charlie Foxtrot. Request taxi to the gate. Top runner aircraft Foxtrot. Juliet Alpha Charlie Foxtrot. Taxi to gate 16 using taxiway November.
Gate 616, right, where is that? Let's just slow down. Gate 16 is actually not that far away. To our right, to our left, I believe.
Taxiing to gate 16 via taxiway November 6 Charlie Lima Delta Lima Echo top runner aircraft Alpha Charlie Foxtrot.
I think it's one of these down here. I think it's one of these. Rotation at 10 knots, is that what it was in knots? Brilliant. So Charlie Lima Delta, which is this one coming up, and then Lima Echo. So yeah, I think we were right on the gates. So when we turn left here again, we're going to be facing into the wind, so we'll have to be careful we don't just randomly take off again. What fun aircraft. It's so slow though. Let's tell you what we'll do is let's just fly to the gates. Alright, there we go. It might be a bit quicker then. The gate 16 is what we want. This is 06. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 I can see now. There we go. Okay, this is 16. Unfortunately, oh no, it has loaded some of the ground services in for us. The jetways have disappeared though. I know that's a bit of a bug with the sim at the moment, and it looks like the visual docking guidance system hasn't actually spawned in, unfortunately. That's a bit of a shame. Tell you what we'll do then is we'll just see if there's an alternate gate where it has actually spawned in. Let's just slew ourselves around and just see if we can find it, because I do want to kind of see how that works, if it does work. Theoretically, I mean, generally the ground services do spawn in at more than one gate at once in the sim. For example, this gate here, but the thing hasn't spawned in. VDGS. Really? None of them have spawned in at all.
Top runner aircraft Alpha Charlie Foxtrot.
Oh, it's not cleared for takeoff apparently. Oh, that is a shame. I really wanted to see that. Never mind. We're going to have to give it a miss, because I do have to do one, I'm afraid now, guys. But nevertheless, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you found that preview helpful, if you enjoyed the flight, if you enjoyed the content, once again, please do consider hitting the thumbs up button. It really, really does help the channel. And if you're new to the channel, do hit the subscribe button for more future flight sim content. I am planning on putting out a few nice little shorts as well on YouTube. I know that's something that's fairly new to the platform, but yeah, going to be working on that as well. So we've got plenty of content lined up. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, thank you for returning viewers. Obviously Manacle, Mariner, Asa, Chris, and Zach, Ramsey, if you're still in the chat, and Thomas. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Chris, obviously, thank you massively for that £10 tip. Much appreciated, dude. That's so generous. As well as Space Ace and anyone else that's tuned in today. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next stream. Might even have one tomorrow if we're lucky. Alright guys, take it easy. I hope you guys have a fantastic Saturday evening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. This sounds like copyrighted music. Hold on. No. Oh dear, that's not good, is it? How long has that been playing for? Okay. Alright, thanks for tuning in, guys. Take it easy. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Peace.